Yes,
Are you gonna have any French fries?
no, they're all yours.
Excellent. I'm gonna eat the whole tray of them.
All right.
I've had half the tray and I'm still hungry. So
No,
hold
you
on.
go for it. I have a bag of goldfish and a dream.
So when last we left off, y'all were on a flying machine flying over Wind City, and in a few hours it would fly over the World Bazaar.
How fast is this thing going? Do I have any time to like scar myself?
This thing's going pretty fast. I think it can travel like vertically over a district. I'm sorry, horizontally over a district. And it takes 3 days on foot. It could probably go. You also have to stop for refueling, by which I mean let the Hellgat graze. It could probably cross over a district in a day. So you've got. Well, actually, let me see.
I'm just trying.
Marching
I'm trying to
speed.
visualize the Hellgat grazing while in their harnesses. That'd be really funny.
Let me see overland movement, marching. Yeah, this thing can go over an entire district in a day, but it will take a day. And you have a few stops, but you will definitely have some time to scar yourself.
Cool.
So Auntie pipes up, and
Which,
Now I'm
which,
ready.
which to everyone else kind of looks like Solandra's developed a cutting habit. So
Wait, what?
she's spell scarring.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, great. Solandra's spell scarring again. Burrow speed? Anyway. So yeah, Auntie pipes up and she's like, if you don't mind, I'd like to be dropped off at Wind City. And Grub says, I think I can arrange that. I'll land outside. And she comments simply, that's fine. I can walk the rest of the way. Cap, did you get a good idea of how big this ship is? Hello? Halt? Is Cap alive?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get a good idea of how big the ship is?
Not really.
Okay, like
Do you have a diagram?
I do not have a diagram. Like
How long is it? Like how long of a ship?
it
again?
is like maybe 50 feet long.
Okay.
There is a
Then
single.
yes, I have a good idea.
Yeah, there's like it's like a flying saucer. Like it is one single large room with some chairs in it and like a captain's chair, and there's a little closet which serves as a bathroom.
Gotcha. Bare bones flying machine.
Yeah. I have to use the bathroom. We just left. You couldn't have gone before we took off, could you? Well, I didn't have to then. Anyway. So, yes. When this thing lands near Wind City,
oops.
there is some hullabaloo and there is some commotion, and like he lands near a tavern on the outskirts of Wind City, and Auntie gets out, and you take off again, and they're all like, "What? Flying machine?" And like there are definitely other flying machines not controlled by the Chosen. Like District 4 has a few, 5 has Ankara and Janam have a few flying machines. And District 6 has 2. One of them belongs to a notorious smuggler who none of you are familiar with, and the other one is Connor's flagship. Well, it's really his only ship.
So it's not like anyone's going to try to kill us for this.
No, of course
No,
not.
it's definitely not a highly desired object at
No.
all. No.
Absolutely not. Speaking of, no one will kill you over this. Oh no, that doesn't happen for a while.
Oh, good.
Great.
We'll get to that later.
Oh boy.
It's
Wonderful.
fine. Don't worry about it.
It's
Don't
fine,
worry
don't
about it.
worry about it.
The cool thing is, though, that like as you're flying over District 3, oh, never mind. Grub suggests, okay, brilliant idea. We're just gonna sleep in the air, and then, you know, who even needs the ground below? Clementine, you succeed automatically on your common sense roll. The Hellgak need to graze, and it would probably be better to let them graze at night before you guys go to bed.
I mean, they're not. The Hellgag aren't just wheels. You have to feed them.
Grub turns around in his chair and he's like, yeah, I guess.
So,
Shit.
hey, Grub,
Yeah.
what about adding some sort of feedback type feature to this thing next time you make modifications?
I could do that. Maybe.
Or you could let them rest.
Or you could have let me bioengineer them so they wouldn't need to rest.
That's cruel.
No, it's not. They barely notice.
Holt's staying out of this.
Just because you would rather spend your nights working and never sleep doesn't mean they don't want to. And you can't even ask them. You can't speak to them.
You're right. I can't. But, I don't know. The chosen Hellgak don't seem to mind.
Right, because the Chosen are the paragon of goodness and morality.
Hey, I didn't say they were moral. I just said that they were efficient.
Efficiency is not what matters here.
I think efficiency is absolutely of the essence. I'm not trying to take the moral high ground. I'm trying to make us a badass flying machine.
Emphasis on the word machine, and you're using living animals to do it.
Well, if I could do it with magic or without making Hellgak fly it around, I would.
But you can't, so you have to stop pretending that you can.
Or you could just let me do what I want. We could have a badass flying machine.
Not happening, bud.
I mean, at this point, he is absolutely, like, shut you out. He's just, like, just flying around.
Just being petulant.
Oh, yeah. That being said, like, you understand, like, you haven't changed his mind on the matter.
That's okay. I understand.
Oh, fuck.
What?
What?
Sorry, just and you see, Solandra's like as she's she's kind of paying attention to the conversation. She's making this tattoo on her leg, and nothing. Just thinking about if I cast this particular spell on board the ship. Eesh, never mind.
Well, what spell is it?
Well, it's one that I worked out just the other night. It sort of allows me to pop into and out of the ethereal plane. Yeah, it's the pop into on a moving ship. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Okay.
I think that's how you end up with half of yourself inside the ship and half of you out.
Grub pipes up. Actually, it's either all in or all out.
I'm just more concerned about the ship leaving me several miles behind, trying to figure out how to catch up.
No, you
Well, I mean,
should
you
be
can't
able to
fly.
keep moving at the same velocity. That being said, there is a chance that you might just fall through the floor.
All right, something to be careful about.
Very careful. I mean, I hope we never get intruders.
Hmm.
That would be bad. That would be very bad. exceptionally bad. Like a whole new level of bad. Like a whole level of bad that I can't even imagine.
Don't worry about it. They'll just kill the Hellgak first.
Nah, man, that armor's tight.
And then we'll all die in a screaming fireball.
Can we
Well,
not talk about that, maybe?
I do have the blink and I can fly, so
I mean, I can fly too, but Toby can't. And neither can Holt.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you thought of the goat first, man.
Clementine always has her priority straight.
He's been with me the longest.
I understand. I see how it is. Holt, do this. Holt, pick up that. Holt,
Nope.
die in a grease fire.
Huh. When you put it that way, I think I should retool some of my gear. Holt, you take the wheel.
Okay.
Holt, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. Grove explains,
What do I do?
no, it's fine. Like, this makes it go left and right, and this makes it go up and down, and then this makes it go faster, and this makes it go slower. Just like, you know, try not to run into anything, and don't go any higher than this. And he points to a dial that like shows your altitude, and like there is a large red mark which is like, do not go above this, and it's just like a cartoon drawing of an explosion.
Okay, you got it.
Sweet.
Just gonna hold it very still and steady.
What's the skill for piloting this thing anyway?
I have no idea.
Fly?
Actually,
Handling
there is a
lead?
skill for that. I think it's what is it? Why does Grove have such a high spellcraft? Oh, because he's got to identify things. Actually, there's a feat required. Technologist. If you have technologist,
alright,
you
so
can
I
just
don't
do
have
it.
that.
We are all screwed.
I mean, like,
Well,
you
just
can
hold it steady.
definitely keep it level, but like, if anything, if you face turbulence of any kind, if anything untoward occurs, like you will, there's just like a 50% chance of catastrophic failure.
Awesome. Better odds than we usually have.
That being said, what's Grub's class?
Alchemist? I don't know.
No, he's not an alchemist. Oh man, I forgot to write down what his class is.
You don't have to tell us.
No, I
Some
don't.
sort of artisan?
I think there's definitely like an mechanist. There we are.
Oh. But of course.
Nope, never mind. Mechanist is not it. That's a gunslinger archetype. Shit, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to find this class again.
You're the DM, make something up.
No, but like, it has rules and things.
Yeah, your rules.
Artificer. There we go.
Just gonna take the...
Ding,
sippy
found
sip.
it. Okay.
What's it called?
Artificer. I'm just trying to figure out, right. Because artificers have a skill called Weird Science. Alright.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that is.
It's a person who makes things,
Okay.
including weird
Sounds like
magical
Grum.
devices. Which reminds me, what level spell is Featherfall?
I think it's 1.
It is a level 1 spell. Unfortunately, you are correct, Dave. It is a level 1 spell. Unfortunately, he's going to have to cannibalize one of his weird science machines. So either the door jam, the shield device, the grease releaser, or the probability hyperfucker is going to have to get cannibalized. I think the probability hyperfucker is going to have to go. He comments, instead of a dead drop, it's going to be a life drop. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
That does
and
sound preferable.
Halt, don't worry. So long as we don't get separated in the event of a catastrophic crash, I will be able to use this to save you.
Oh, good.
In addition,
Thank you.
so long as we're not more than 200 feet up in the air, 400 feet up in the air, we will be able to survive the fall.
Gives him a very Nervous thumbs up and then holds on to the wheel.
I mean, alternatively, I could try to eyeball it to see if we're 200 feet up.
Well, I mean, what does the meter thing say?
Oh, that thing runs in, I don't remember what fake unit of measurement that I used before. Oh, that thing's not in feet. That's in wheels.
What the fuck is a wheel?
It's how the Chosen measure distances.
Oh, great. Why couldn't you made one in feet?
Because if we go above 16.7 wheels, they'll find us and knock us out of the sky. So I figured it'd be a good idea to measure our altitude in wheels.
Huh.
Although now that you mention it, I could have simply converted it to feet.
Probably.
Huh.
Next time.
Next time. You know, gotta hammer out the kinks. As he gets to work. Like, the device that he's working on currently is sort of like a compass spinning around, but every once in a while, like, if he, like, every once in a while, it just stops exactly when he wants it to, where he wants it to. And it's got like it's like a stopwatch. Like you click the thing, and then it hyperfucks probability. And if you don't click the thing, then nothing happens. Anyway.
So, Crab, I know this science stuff is just fucking weird, but how is it that we're in a ship powered by 6 Hellgak that moves faster than any Hellgak ever could?
The aerodynamics. Basically, Hellgak, so, you know, a sword, it's really good for swinging because it's sharp. Like, that actually helps it cut through the air. Hellgak, not so good at cutting through the air. They're big and bulky, and they fart a lot, and they generally don't really care about moving fast. But the way that I've designed the hull of the ship, it's able to cut through the air way better than Hellgak hide.
Yeah, but you're dealing with a lot more weight.
He looks at you and says, you know what? I could explain it, but like, don't worry about it. He says to you with a pleading expression on his face.
Clementine is watching this with intent.
Magic follows rules. This technology crap, I'm not so sure about.
Oh, there are rules. There are a lot of rules.
Airy-fairy fucking nonsense.
But yeah. So just don't worry about it. In any event, when night falls, his lifeline is complete, and he is able to take the ship in for a landing. And when it's all landed, he takes the Hellgak out of their harnesses, and they just, you know, start floating around, eating grass.
Did you build any security stuff into this?
Not yet.
Just in case someone decides to take off their Hellgak during the night again.
I mean, the Hellgak? Oh no, they're all tied in, and they all have like harnesses with a sort of like length of sturdy looking fabric. I mean, someone could conceivably cut their leash, but like, you need something really sharp. Like, he gestures to your sword and says, I don't even think brother could cut it. I mean, maybe, if you hit it really hard. I made it out of some imported hide, let's say.
Clementine whispers to Holt, "It's people."
I think it's people. You can cut through people, Clementine. That was a joke.
We are all.
You're not using unicorn hide. You're not using unicorn hide again, are you? Are you?
Oh
I
no!
said you wouldn't do that anymore.
Like he's like, don't joke about that shit. I've never used unicorn hide. It's bullet hide, if you have to ask. That's what most of the fabric pieces are made out of. The metal is just metal, but you know, people in District 5 hunt bullets for fun. I was thinking of maybe I don't know, using some Unkeg shells to I don't know, create some spiky defenses, but like those are really heavy and really hard to get.
Yeah, nasty things. Ran into a hive of them over by near the wall of District 1. Yes.
A whole fucking hive? Jesus.
Yeah. It seemed like a good place to get out of. There are times when I'm really happy I went to fly.
Well, I mean, if it's as good for you as it feels for me flying around in this ship, you know, I feel like I've been missing out.
It's actually better when you can have the wind on your face.
I bet. You know, I could. Yeah.
Yeah, at this altitude, I think that might be a problem.
No. I could make something that would allow us to fly. Like, just,
Am I the only one that thoroughly enjoys the ground?
Yes.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. Just asking.
Probably Toby, too. What do you think?
Actually, Toby pipes up and he looks at Holt and he looks at you, Holt, and just says, "Nah." It
Looks
is.
to Clementine.
It is a bleat of agreement.
Oh, I want to pat Toby on his head. Good boy.
Yeah, you're right, brother.
All right. Now that I think about it,
Slender chuckles a little bit.
What's brother saying now?
No, he just had an observation about Toby and Holt.
Oh, I see. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I could set up some sort of rudimentary traps while we're out, but you guys know what the spell Explosive Runes does?
No.
That doesn't sound like something we want to do in the air.
I mean, I wouldn't do it in the air. I'd only do it after we land. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I've never really researched it, but I've heard of it, of course.
Okay, so for the uninitiated, he says, gesturing to Salandra, Explosive Runes allows me to write some words, and then if anybody reads those words, well, they're close enough to it, they explode. And he reaches into his cavernous pockets and pulls out what it looks like a government like stamping thing, just like prepaid or whatever. And he's like, this just stamps Explosive Runes on things. The phrase is always a void contract. So if you see anything written on the door, don't read it.
Ooh, that would be fun to tattoo on somebody.
Wait,
God.
hold on. Does it only count if you read it aloud?
No, if you read it in your head, they still explode.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
so it only works against literate people.
It does, actually.
You should be safe, Holt.
Hey!
Clementine gives Toby a high five.
Toby would high five you, but like he can't.
I will accept a headbite in my palm.
Clem, brother made the same comment at the exact same time as you. It was funny. It's like an echo.
Good one, brother. I'm sorry, Hold. I'm just teasing. You're probably more literate than I am.
I see how it is.
Actually, how many languages does Grub know? He knows an absurd number. Oh man, if you guys wanted, you could kill Grub and take all of his stuff.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be able to fly the thing.
I mean, you could. You'd just be awful at it at first. And, you know, you might kill yourself and everyone else. Don't worry about it. Okay, you should probably worry about it.
You'd only kill
Yeah.
the people who matter.
I'm not gonna kill Grub. I like Grub.
What the fuck? Where's the list of languages? I know that the character sheet that I'm using has one. Or does it?
Look up the linguistics page.
No, but like he should have a list of languages that he knows. Somewhere. Maybe it's underneath all the spells. It is not underneath all the spells. There's nothing underneath all the spells. Nothing exists in that blasted hellscape. Of course he took endurance. Anyway. Oh, huh. Yeah, here's a list of languages, and it's blank. Oh, time to fill it.
Don't forget to give him gutter.
Because that is one language that he has canonically spoken and understood.
Yep.
So,
Better late than never, I guess.
always take
Better late
Draconic.
than never.
Always. If you have the option to speak Draconic, speak it. All the most important shit written in Draconic. Anyway, you guys rest. Brother keeps watch. The hell got Grays. All is well. You're just in a little patch of grass in the middle of District 3 nowhere.
Nice.
Like you're approaching the wall to District 4, but like there is not a light in sight. There's nothing but stars in the sky.
Did we already drop Auntie off?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a conversation you wanted to have with her before she left?
Oh, no. It's okay.
Okay. It is always a good idea to keep stock of who is and who is not in the party, and who is not in the ship. Oh god.
I don't like it when the DM says that.
No, I was just looking at Grub's abilities, and he can try to keep using his weird science devices after he has used them for the number of times they're allowed to be used for the day, but there's a chance that they might break down or explode or fucking short out or like create a wild magic effect.
Nice.
Ugh.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's great. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Anyway,
about it.
so brother reports nothing during the night. Everyone sleeps okay. Salandra, you restore a point of your wisdom.
I think I already did, actually. We had a couple days of downtime after that. You said
Oh,
I was
yeah.
back up to
That's
back
fair.
up to normal.
There was some time for traveling. Yes, you are correct.
we were staggering through the wastes of District 2.
So you all get back on the ship, and you set off. And like, just to make you feel better at ease, Holt, Grub like picks up a rock, and like chucks it into the air, and like takes out a device and pushes a button on it, and then the rock starts gently floating down to the ground.
Oh, is that the thing?
That's the thing.
The...
I could do that
okay.
to us. Actually, theoretically speaking, I should be able to do it to the ship. although if we are crashing and burning in a giant fireball, it might not be best to make it fall to the earth more slowly.
Yeah. But I do feel safer. Thanks. Thanks, Grub.
He flashes you a giant thumbs up and says, "Wicked,"
Wicked.
and heads into the ship. Y'all take off. Y'all get moving. I'm not sure.
By the way, does Grub react in any way when Salandra lights up cigarettes on board the ship?
No, he does not.
Okay.
There's not anything readily flammable inside. He does politely. He does at one point politely ask that you knock your ashes into a cup that he provides for you.
Whatever. How feasible is it to go outside while underway?
It is not.
Too windy?
It is way too windy. There is also like no balcony. You could like activate fly and then like grab onto the side of the ship and like try to smoke out there, but
Yeah, that wouldn't be too easily workable.
wouldn't be great. That being said, as you guys fly over District 4, something happens. And like as you do, just like I don't know, the city below is painted green with some sort of mire or like some sort of something in the air. Maybe it's just the stench of poverty or some such. But maybe it's the clouds overhead casting a strange pallor. But as you're flying over the city streets, there is a loud ka-chunk and kang as the ship suddenly like grinds to a halt.
Gets hit by a harpoon?
You're correct. Oh my god. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
All right. Well, since we've stopped moving, I'm gonna activate flight, get out of it.
Oh,
and
you
see
have
if I can.
you have not stopped moving. Like the ship is caught in a bizarre orbit. Like it is currently experiencing some G-forces and bizarre centrifugal force. Anyone who is not like seat belted in goes flying around. Toby has his own little special harness in his little harness area. That being said, he starts bleeding like crazy. And like many of you probably start shouting as well as the ship like goes sideways and starts club hauling and flying around the wrong direction.
Is there a seat close enough to Toby that I could have been sitting in to pat his head and try and comfort him
Yes.
through this mayhem?
Yes. That being said, after the initial intense turbulence, Grub is able to right the ship, but you can feel that like it is like being sort of reeled in, and there are a few more ka-chunks and thangs, and then a giant harpoon comes up through the floor.
Can I get out of the ship?
At this point, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go out of the ship. I'm using a swift action to turn Brother Keen and give him another +1 enhancement bonus, and see if I can start cutting cables.
So you get out the ship, and you can see down below there are a couple of guard towers around an area that seems to have other flying ships in it, and they have all like the three of them have managed to hit you, There are 6 in total, and the other 3 managed to miss.
All right. By hit me, you mean the ship, I hope?
Yes. Yes, they do not hit you with a harpoon. I would not subject you to the horrors of harpoon combat without warning you beforehand.
Oh, that's nice.
Good
At
to
least
know.
for that.
I'm about to say, do you know the harpoon combat rules? They're fucking
I
insane.
don't want to.
Dude, okay, so it deals the same amount of damage coming out as it did going in unless someone succeeds in a heal check pulling it out of your body.
Oh, so like arrows.
Yeah,
Yes.
barbs.
If
Anything
you
with
want to,
barbs.
asshole.
But, like, ostensibly the person who threw the harpoon at you, so, like, an arrow does, like, 1d8 plus 1 damage if you're dealing with an adept archer. And, it does some magical damage, too, but you don't have to worry about the magical damage when you're pulling it out. But the guy chucking the harpoon is probably doing, like, 2d8 plus 16. Because you get twice that strength modifier when you're chucking a harpoon. And he's probably an
No big
ogre or
deal.
some crazy shit.
Yeah, it might be a good time for me to activate that mirror image.
Solanda, did you blink out of the ship?
No, if it was the only way to do it, I'd use it. But it does reduce my. It increases my. Yeah, my time. If unless it's take. What takes how? Sorry. How long would it take actually for me to get out of the ship? Is it faster for me to?
It would be
blink?
faster for you to blink, but if you used... Yes, it would be faster for you to blink, but you wouldn't be able to mirror image if you blink. Otherwise, you have to, like, float over to the door, and, obviously fly as quickly as you can over to the door, open it, and then fly out.
Yeah. All right. I think mirror image is probably my better bet. So I'll go over the door, fly out, and start chopping lines.
Got it.
I'm going to go into I think, let me just see wild shape, what kind of birds I can do. Probably
assume-
eagle.
It's probably easier to cut cables than to try to get the barbs out of the ship, right?
You are absolutely correct.
Okay, I'm starting to cut cables.
All right. Make a sunder roll.
All right, how does that work?
I will tell you in just a moment, once I figure out how it works. Combat maneuver, sunder. So you can attempt to sunder an item held or worn by your opponent in place of a melee attack. If you do not have the improved sunder feat or a similar ability, attempting to sunder an item provokes, but, the target is an object. If your attack is successful, you deal damage to the item normally. And then if you exceed the object's hardness, you subtract from its hit points.
Okay. So having spell damage would help too, then.
Depends on the type of spell. Like, if you're going to shock the cable, that's probably not going to, help.
What about freeze?
Freezing a cable would probably help.
Okay. I only have one of those.
Most people don't make freeze-proof cables. I don't even know, how you would make that. I don't know. Cover it in infernal seal blubber. I don't know. Fuck it.
All right. So sunder won't work with spell combat. Oh no, with spell strike, I imagine, right?
I would say so. You're still channeling the spell through the blade.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna make a normal attack on one of the cables first. So the sunder chance is again just a d20 roll,
Yes. It is a normal attack roll.
and I got a 15 plus my normal bonus, or
Yes.
some of the. Okay, weapons. So plus 10. So my normal strike is a 25.
You definitely hit it.
Okay.
It's not very evasive. It is a cable.
Yep. Okay, so that's 11 points of damage for that one.
How much damage does the spell do?
That was my normal attack. I was gonna make the spell strike second.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll that spell check. That spell strike.
Okay. That didn't sever that cable.
No, it did not.
What was that?
It did not sever that cable.
Okay. How bad does it look? Does it look like it took a lot of damage, or does it look like it's pretty much intact?
It's not completely intact. Like, you definitely left an impact on the cable, but not as much as you would hope.
Okay, my spell strike, and I rolled that's a 24,
That is definitely a hit.
and my regular damage is 12, and my spell damage. Fuck, this is taking too long. My spell damage is, oh wow, that's funny. 14. I rolled 2 6s and 2 1s.
So
Nice.
the additional infusion of cold makes the chain brittle, and the very small cut that you made in it is the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's the chink in the armor, and the cable snaps, sending cable flying around you all over the place. I'm just
Okay.
gonna roll a D percentile for flying cable. Your mirror, it will, like, it's either it hits you or it doesn't. It's not trying to hit you, so it won't actually get affected by your mirror images. Neither can it destroy them.
Yep. No intent involved.
Yeah. So you are able to avoid the flinging cables that warble all over the place.
Okay. So there's still 2 cables?
There are still 2 more cables.
Fuck.
We'll get to them next round. Meanwhile, on the inside, everybody roll initiative. Solandra, you just go first. You're at the top of the initiative order. You don't need to roll. Because you seized the
13.
initiative.
17.
Sweet. What does Grub roll on initiative anyway?
Who, me?
No, Grub.
Oh.
And where the hell is that on his sheet? Does he have improved initiative? He doesn't. Okay, I'm assuming that's just a +1.
He must have a good dex, though, right?
I've got some bad news for you if you think he has a good dex. You've seen how astonishingly mediocre his dexterity is.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking of sort of fine hand-eye coordination type stuff, but yeah, the rest of it probably not so good.
Not so great. He's actually kind of clumsy. Good thing he builds things durable, so he says. So you guys are about, I'd say, like 200 feet above these guys. And, they made some artillery rolls or whatever. Quote unquote, or whatever. So Grub goes next. And, like, he looks at the, he looks at the controls and just sort of... he does something with the controls. You're not exactly sure what. And he seems to lock them into place as he heads towards the door. But when he gets to the door, he's out of actions. Followed by... Halt. It is your turn.
Now help me picture this a little bit. Am I gonna have to be flying to do anything against these cables? Like, I'm not sure exactly how much I'm limited here.
You could try stomping the harpoons out of the inside.
I
But-
feel like that would hurt the ship more than help it.
I mean, it's gonna hurt the ship, but at least you guys will be free.
Make
Grub
a
can
good
fix
point. Let's give that a shot.
Grub can fix a broken hull. He can't fix cables going.
Reeling us in.
Yeah.
Ye old tractor beam 1.0. Alright, let's try to...
Yeah, that's a good one.
So what exactly are you doing? Are you just trying to shove it through? Are you trying to hit the harpoon head? Are you trying to stomp on it? You're trying to body slam it?
Assume that it's sharp, so I kind of want to hit it with my shield
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
rather than stomp on it.
Yep.
So you're gonna try to like elbow drop these harpoons back through with your shield? Like I don't laugh because that's a stupid idea. I laugh because it's an idea so crazy it just might work.
Alright, let's give it a shot. I mean, I do have attack stats for my shield.
Well, you could try to sunder the harpoon head, but it is way harder than the cable.
I don't give a fuck.
That
Let's
being
do
said,
it.
I'm saying like you can make a sunder roll, but if you roll a sufficiently high number on your strength check, you will just pop it back out.
Strength then.
Okay. So make a strength roll with a +4 bonus because you're like elbow dropping these harpoons.
Let's do it.
One of those harpoon heads has gone kind of loose, though, hasn't it?
With an 18?
It is incredibly difficult to determine which of. Oh no, actually no. It would totally be sensible. Like you can tell that one of the harpoons is no longer like pulling taut, so you don't do it to that one. So you elbow drop one of these harpoons, it does not pop out, but
Okay.
it does like slam into the bottom of the ship, and it is a little bit of the ways out. It'll be easier to pop out harpoons that have already had parts of them popped out.
Alright. Cool.
Huh.
Working on it.
Is someone still reeling these cables?
Someone, maybe. Something, certainly. Meanwhile, it's the harpooner's turn.
Oh, I should just tell you how many of me there are.
Right, that's actually important.
D4. Sec line. Spell. For 3 caster levels. Okay, so there are 5 images and
5 images and you?
Yep.
Cool. That being said,
Oh,
so Solandra, you're waiting for an onslaught of crossbow bolts or more harpoons to fire, but before any of that happens, you hear a like bellowing, magically augmented voice that cries out, "Excuse me, sir or madam, as the port authority of the World Bazaar, it is my sworn duty to take your ship in. This is not a boarding action. This is not an action of privateering. This is purely a, what's the word I'm looking for? Purely a, routine matter." You can, like, roll diplomacy or sense motive or whatever you want on that display.
oh, where's my good die?
The purple one?
Yep. Where's my lucky purple die?
Where'd the lucky purple die go? I came to your abode and I stole it so that you would never roll good ever again.
um, 15.
On what? Sense motive?
Yep.
You're pretty sure he's legit. Like, he's not gonna, like, chop you up into bits as soon as your ship gets to ground. But
I don't think he's legit, or I do think he's legit.
you don't think that he's lying.
Okay.
You think that this is actually his job, and he just sort of like didn't know what to do, so he was like, fire harpoons at it and bring it in, so that because if I tell someone I let a ship that we don't know about fly overhead, I might lose my job, or worse yet, I'm sorry, I might lose my life, or worse yet, I might lose my job. That being said, you can continue to cut cables if you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm. But you said that I actually believe him?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Like, he is being honest
Maybe
and
Clementine
earnest with
took
you.
That influence.
And you roll like you roll high enough. You're like, no way, that doesn't exist in this world. And then you realize, no wait, there are definitely people stupid enough for this to work.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I am gonna keep on cutting cables. So.
Got it. At which point, a barrage, and he cries out, "Oh no! Don't do that! No! Open fire, boys!" At which point, three more
Hopefully the range
harpoons
is
come
enough.
through the floor.
Oh shit!
Chunk, 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 chunk. And 6 people with the crossbow bolts start shooting at Solandra. Solandra, what is your armor class? And what is the range of a heavy crossbow? You don't have to
My
answer
armor
that
class-
second question. I will.
My armor class is 18.
Cool. Okay, so these guys are only getting a -2 penalty.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
So, a barrage of crossbow bolts go flying up into the air. And 2 illusions go poof.
What goes poof?
2 illusions. 2 of your mirror images.
Oh, okay. So I'm down to 3.
You are, in fact, down to 3.
Ah, fuck. All right. So now, if Grub actually tells me that to stand down, I will stand down. But I'm not going to do it based on these guys.
Actually, Grub's like halfway out the door. And he's just like, wait, what? You guys are... Shit. He can't... You're so far away that he can't send messages down, but apparently whoever is down there has a way to amplify their voice. What's his sense motive? Does he have that? Is that a thing that he has? We'll see what he thinks about the situation. Oh, well, shit. And he's just like, He looks at you, Solandra. I say that we comply, and if he tries to fuck with us, we perforate him.
Do I hear him?
Yes. You can hear Grub. He's close enough. Like, you're only below the ship, and he, like... You guys see him get down, and, like, his head and, like, upper body is hanging out of the ship as he is shouting to Solandra.
Fuck. You're sure we might still be able to do this?
We have 5 harpoons in us, and 2 people with the power capability to get them out. And who knows how many more they got down there.
I thought it was 3, but okay.
Oh no, there were 3 originally, and they landed 3 more.
Oh, they landed 3 more? Okay.
Yes. So there's 5
Sorry,
total.
I thought I was just dealing with 2 of them. That was manageable.
2, certainly manageable. 5, trickier business. That being said, it's going to take them it would take them a while to get another cable and chain hooked up to the other harpoon.
I look back over my shoulder at the guard station where the cables are coming from, and all 4 of me make a mystic gesture in their direction, and then I head back.
Delicious. After a while, Grub goes over to the controls and he stops the automatic pull-up thing that he was doing. And
What the fuck, man? Didn't you think of this?
Actually, no. The armor on the bottom is at its weakest, funnily enough. I was expecting we'd get attacked by, like, I don't know, griffins or something. Actually, now that I think about it, the armor is kind of thin all over the place. But thinnest on the bottom. Like a turtle.
It's just fucking lucky they didn't hit the Hellgack. Clementine would have blown a gas. Hey, Clement.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It doesn't take long for the ship to get grounded. And the master of the port authority has, like... he comes forward, and he is, like, one of the shortest gnomes you've ever seen, but he has an impressively and flamboyantly large hat. And he comes over to the door, and they're like, you can see him coming up through the portholes, and he is flanked by an ogre and a hobgoblin. And the ogre loudly knocks on the door.
Come, do you have the money for this?
Money?
Fuck.
I don't know. I don't know what we're being charged with, or I don't know what we are being charged.
It's probably one or the other, and push come to shove, I do have the gems left, but I'd rather not volunteer them unless absolutely necessary.
Thud, thud, thud. So you come down, but you won't open the door? That's weird.
Oh, I didn't realize we closed the door.
So
Clementine will take point on this.
You sure?
Yep. She's gonna go out, let Toby out, and follow close behind with her hands up.
Uh-oh. I think we're... him looking over at Holt. I think we're in for a cute offensive.
oh no, the cute offensive.
Gotcha.
Let's see if I can find something for the cute offensive. This is the second result for the cute offensive. The first one is a whale, like, that just says, "You're a gigantic cunt."
Big mood.
Anyway, so you open the door and you come up with your hands up, and the gnome is like, "Oh no, that's not necessary. You're not prisoners or anything, not yet, anyway. Don't worry.
Thank you.
We go through this all the time. Ships take off. You know, there's an outstanding debt or an outstanding warrant. Sorry about the harpoons there. My daddy always just told me to negotiate from a position of power. So
I can appreciate that.
welcome to the World Bazaar. And you are...
Clemmy.
Are you the captain of this vessel?
No, my feet can't reach the thing.
You know, I have the same problem. He snaps his finger, and the ogre reaches into, like, a pouch on an apron, and he pulls out, like, 2 wooden blocks, and he's like, "That's why I have Ape Drape carry these." Anyway.
That's a great idea.
And, like, he pulls out a flask from one of his pockets, like, tips it to you, and takes a quick drink.
Excellent.
Drape, you say?
So, you guys aren't running any colors, which leads me to understand that this is a new vessel. But it also looks like it's made out of trash. I mean, some absolutely rough...
Clementine shouts up to the Helgek. You didn't mean that, babies.
What the fuck's wrong with having a broken...
I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong about a ship made out of trash. I can see inside, and it looks cleaner than most of the skiffs that come through this dump. But the point is, you're not flying any colors, and I don't know if you guys have any passports. Actually, fuck that. Who cares? No laws. Point being, we need you guys to come down here, and I need to, like... Whoever it is that decorated this needs to do some work on it. It needs some colors and some identifying marks and, I don't know, all sorts of shit.
Alright, that sounds fair to me.
I think...
Let me get someone with longer legs to come and give me a hand.
No, it's gonna take a while. Kind of extensive. I think if you slide 100 gold pieces my way, then I can definitely open up some space for you and then give you guys some emotional distance. But it's going to take a while to get this thing up to code. So, I mean, you guys can go around the World Bazaar, do whatever you want. And I mean, like, as I said, 100 gold pieces will give you the physical and emotional distance that you need to get this thing up and running. But then he looks at you and winks and says, and of course I can be bribed with other things if you catch my drift.
Oh, that's lovely.
Wow. It's good to know that even gnomes can be sleazy.
It's the hat. Like, you had to have seen that coming.
Dude, this hat is on another level. Quite literally. Like, it's not as tall as he is, but god damn it, it's trying. And, like, whenever he moves or shifts, it flops around all uncomfortable-like, and it's got, like, 8 feathers sticking out of it all over the place.
Are they, like, the same kind of feathers, or all vastly different?
No, they are all vastly different kinds of feathers. You get the distinct impression that he said, okay, so, like, most people have, like, 1 feather in their hat? What if I have, like, 4? And Ape Drape was like, I like it.
Fucking fair.
Ape said, more is better, so get more feathers. And then the gnome snapped his fingers and said, good answer. Good answer.
Oh man, Grub, is it just me, or is it the further we get from District 2, the more people seem like mayor?
Like, he turns around in his chair, it swivels, and he looks you dead in the eyes and just remarks to himself, oh shit. Oh my god, this opens up a whole new avenue. Do you think like maybe he was like a prisoner or something and he got sent to us because he was so shitty that nobody wanted to keep him in jail? Oh god, this changes everything. But before he can break into that...
Yeah, maybe that's not even... Maybe he was just one of them. He's just not as good at being a bureaucratic dick as they are.
That being said, you need to generate either 100 gold pieces or 100 gold piece worth in goods and or services, particularly sexual services for this gnome.
Clementine gives a sweet smile and returns back to the ship. Okay, guys. First things first, I'm not fucking the gnome.
We weren't gonna ask you to.
I feel it's important to be honest and upfront about the things that we are and are not.
You think it would satisfy him if I beat him a lot?
I don't want to consider it deeply enough to say yes or no.
All right, here. Slander throws in 25 gold pieces.
Clementine will also throw in 25 gold.
Grub starts sifting through his many pockets.
Ah, fuck it. Old frozen 50.
Like, Grub pipes up, woo! Good! Because all I've got is... He reaches into his robes and produces a ball of twine the size of a human head. He's like, I think that's all I got.
I figured.
Well, Grub, you could pull your weight and fuck the gnome.
I'm not into dudes.
Me neither. Clementine gives him a high five.
Like, he gives you a high five that's probably a little too strong.
Oh.
He's a little too excited. You know how some guys give, like, just hard high fives because they're assholes, and then there are others who give hard high fives just because they like, do it wrong?
Just because they're big dudes and they're not used to high-fiving smaller people.
Yeah, he's definitely in the latter category.
Overly enthusiastic.
Exactly. In any event, you have pulled together your funds. You produce the bag of gold for the gnome. The gnome hands it off to the hobgoblin. The hobgoblin says, "Yep, that's 100 gold." And the gnome says, "Fantastic. So I'm going to need one of you to stay behind and get this thing ship-shape. And the rest of you can go tunnel off for a couple of days."
I wonder who's volunteering for that.
Grub says, "I'll do it."
Thanks, Grub. You're the
Yeah,
best.
you will.
Well,
Teamwork.
hey, can we get like something to indicate that we definitely have ownership on this thing? I think we might want to have some paperwork.
And the gnome says, "Yeah, I can write that up." And Grub is like, give me a second. So he closes the door, locks the door, and then, like, smacks it with his stamper. And it, you know that the words read void contract, but you also know not to read them. And he's like, "Okay. So, first things first, little guy. Nobody goes near that door except me." And the gnome was like, "No problem. Cross my palm with the coin, and I don't even know the ship is here. Except I do. Don't worry about it." And, yeah, the Grub and the gnome go off to go do business. And Grub looks at you guys, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. We should probably name the ship. I don't have a good name for it, but, like, you guys should, like, I don't know, brainstorm on that one."
Hey, Grub, can I commission something from you?
Shoot.
That way you might have some spending money.
Okay.
Can you make me one of those headbands we talked about?
The one that makes you smarter?
Yep.
Then give me a second. The only thing that I found was the headband of Havoc. That is not it. Oh, sorry. Now I have to look up what the headband of Havoc does, because you can't just let the headband of Havoc, like, flop through your fingers.
You never find it again.
Nope, there it is. Headband of Havoc. Oh, it just affects the barbarian's rage. Nothing important. I'm assuming you mean headband of vast intelligence +2?
Yep.
Cross Grub's palm with 2,000 gold pieces, and he will he'll be able to make it at cost. Wait, can he make it? That's the question. Can he make wondrous items? He can make wondrous items. He can make wondrous items, magic arms and armor, and rods, but he can't make staves yet.
All right, I will cross him with 2,000 gold.
Actually, you can cut that down to 1,500, and that's basically just for the cost of materials.
Cool.
Who'd have thought?
And that way he's got some cash to play with if he needs it.
This is true. I'll add that to his gold. And I mean, like, his gold is, well, actually, he will only be keeping a small portion of that. The rest of it will be going into sort of like raw supplies. But still, now he will have some money, which is better than no money.
Always.
Oh no, our captain has literally no money. Oh shit. Here we go. Anyway. So yes, welcome to the World Bazaar. I trust that you have been sufficiently waylaid.
Yep.
Halt, how does it feel to be back home? I'll tell you how it feels to be back home in just a second.
Really nice. No longer flying. No imminent death. And I'm in my element.
Unfortunately, you have something on your mind.
Do I now?
You do.
Blood.
Shut up, Clementine. Oh good. Oh, good. Thank you for this beautiful image.
I'm not done yet. There we go. Now I'm done.
Alright, now you're done?
Now I'm done.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm good. I'm gravy.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not. Oh,
In
that
any-
one's transparent. Oh, good.
In any event, you shake off your reverie.
And we're getting sense motive on that headband as its special thing.
What do you mean?
There's a weird thing in the headband. You pick a one skill that's associated with it, gives you a +2 bonus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then it does something weird after you wear it for 24 hours.
Grants a number of skill ranks and those skills equal to the wearer's total hit dice? What? Oh my god. So, like, finally they found a way to increase the number of skills that you have via intelligence boosting items. That's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, does that make sense to you? If not, then you could just say it just gives me the +2 while I wear it.
No, that
Yeah.
that makes total sense. Like, I was always a little irked by how, like, one of the coolest things that increased intelligence gives you is access to new skills, but there was no way to satisfactorily present that, like, this magic item gives you skill points in a skill that you don't have. But now it's worked into the item, like, no, it makes you good at one skill of the user's choice. Not the user, but like the maker. And obviously you would be like, I want to be better at telling when people are lying, and Grub is like, I can make that happen. And now you will get a +9 bonus on sense motive.
That will be useful.
If no skill is listed, the headband is
Exceedingly.
assumed to grant skill ranks and a randomly determined knowledge skill.
I've got a lot of those already.
Right. But just like if you find a random headband, you have 11 ranks in knowledge planes. Thanks. Anyway, moving on. The port authority is like once you leave your little hangar, the port authority is filled with hustle and bustle of many monstrous races, as well as various humanoids, all going to and fro. Larger ones carrying cargo, smaller ones probably carrying smaller, more precious cargo, and, you know, gambling, drinking, and you definitely see a hobgoblin and a goblin that are about ready to throw down. Like, it is one nasty remark away from a game of knifey finger.
What the fuck is this place?
Welcome to the World Bazaar.
How the fuck are there so many people? I thought there were too many people in Wind City.
Clementine is about 4 inches away from clinging to Holt's leg in fear.
The entire district is one giant city.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
I
Marduk,
agree
fuck.
with Salandra.
I once came across a pile of garbage that was swarming with rock grubs. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to add to that analogy?
Mm-mm. Nope, I see it. I see it clearly.
Also, Holt,
Oh, it's not that bad.
You are intimately aware that there are no laws in the World Bazaar. Not one. It is just generally taken that, like, you do not want to commit grievous crimes because it will probably piss off someone, and that someone will have no repercussion for killing you. Or exacting what they think is justice.
So, Holt, what's going to keep those assholes from just taking the ship?
We should probably keep an eye on it.
I mean, the big
I
issue
don't
is,
think
like,
they're going to...
you don't want to run a port where ships routinely get stolen. Like, they will go someplace else.
Does this place have a good reputation?
You are aware that most places do not have overtly bad reputations. Like, any port that had a bad reputation, like, got taken over by someone who could at least promise your ship won't get stolen, although some of your goods may be forfeit upon landing because, goddammit, I got kids, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually you have to worry about incredibly poor reputations when it comes to, like, incredibly common businesses, like taverns, brothels, and food stands. You never know what you're gonna get out of those. But, like, when it comes to something like a professional adventurer shop, they're not gonna sell you cursed items. Although occasionally you will find an item shop that has a predatory lending option wherein the item that you rent has Drumgee's instant summons cast upon it, and a certain number of hours after you're purchasing it, it will return to the owner, whether you still need it or not. But yeah, there are 3 major
I don't think
ports
they're going to steal the ship.
No.
They might try to extort some more money out of us, but we'll
Is
be
it-
able to take our ship.
Is this near where you live? Do you know where the fuck we are? This is a huge district, right?
Oh boy, do I. Do I?
You are intimately aware of where you are. You're not too far from your usual haunt. It would probably only be a few hours walk.
Excellent. So good news, I can take you to the best, safest inn in the entire district. Let's head to the 9th and Hennepin.
Brother, keep an eye out for pickpockets.
Brother gives you the mental equivalent of a thumbs up.
Clementine's got Holt on her left and Toby on her right, clinging to both.
But yeah, that looks like a decent approximation of 9th and Hennepin. That being said, like, the
How do you even
streets...
fix?
How do you fix what?
How can you fix a place like this?
That's a very good question, Salandra.
Hmm.
There's so much wealth here. Why are there so many fucking beggars? This is insane.
Crime, gambling, addiction to various substances. People don't know how to control themselves, so other people take advantage of that. It creates a ladder.
Oh god, in the World Bazaar, control is a 3-letter word.
Is it?
Yes. I don't know exactly what that means. I just always heard that like 4-letter word means like people don't understand it.
So Solandris has coppers in her her belt pouch, but she will probably hand out some to some of the waif looking waifs.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot of beggars, and they definitely vary in approach from like simple signs, reading anything helps, Creator bless you, various blessings from all sorts of different deities. There are like there are musicians of every type and variety who are very clearly impoverished with very poor instruments. Generally, they have a bowl or a basket or a bucket to catch coins in front of them, and there are old crippled bounty hunters, wild eccentrics, moon touched folk.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Solandris probably pretty more focused on the kids. So.
And there are, of course, a fair number of kids who are just like, shit, gotta get food, no good at stealing, give money so I can eat. Yeah.
I don't want to be a jerk, Solandra, but you're going to want to be careful doing that. If they think that you're handing out too much money, they'll follow you later and try to slit your throat.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, you'd like to think that they'd recognize that you're a bad mark, but like your memory suddenly shifts back to the young orc kid who tried to steal your Helgak in District 3. Like, even in good places, there are stupid thieves.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
I'm being a little careful.
but
We've got to up our game anyway, so.
Not much to report on the few hours you take walking through the city streets. If you didn't have Halt here to guide you, you'd have no idea where you were going or what you were doing. Because it is just like wall-to-wall street, wall-to-wall slum. You haven't seen a tree in hours. Clementine, it makes you uncomfortable. But after not too long, you come to the 9th and Hennepin. Where the donuts
he complained about my place.
The donuts all have names like prostitutes.
And the prostitutes have names like pastries.
It's weird. There's an eclair in there called Candy, and then there is a prostitute named Eclair. You don't know what to do.
You buy both, and you smile and have a good night.
Hey, now Halt's talking.
Hey.
Shit, what did I... Home of the homemade pies.
Please!
My sister
Cannon.
actually went to this restaurant.
Oh my god.
Did she burst into flames upon entering?
No, it was really good. It's in Utah, believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
You can see it on the bottom of the sign there.
I still don't believe it. Is this like outside of Mormon country? Is it on the border?
It's I don't remember exactly where it is. I never went there.
I want to go there now.
Apparently it had very good pie, but one of the pies got left in the hotel room. And it was very tragic.
No.
That's the worst.
Well, Agent Cooper might be all over it.
Every day, I like to give myself one present. I don't like to telegraph it. I don't like to tell me what it's going to be. But every day, I give myself one thing. Holt, what was the name of the madame in charge of 9th and Hennepin?
Kali, and she's the landlord, not the landlady.
Right. Don't get it wrong.
Don't get it wrong.
But yeah,
You got it.
the place is like an amazing hodgepodge. Like as you walk in, there's sort of like a main lobby that has sort of like been co-opted by various food carts offering simple goods and services, and there are, the stairwell obviously leads to the apartments, and there is one hall attended to by a tattooed woman who does not leave much of her body to the imagination, who is flanked by a heavily scarred hobgoblin.
I check out the tattoos professionally.
I check out the tattoos unprofessionally.
They look fantastic. They've been very well put together. They're not like any particular like shape or design. It's just a series of sort of like winding patterns all the way across her body.
Beautiful work. Where'd you have it done?
She like lays a hand on the hobgoblin's shoulder, and he keeps his eyes open, and she comes over to you, and she's like, inside actually, we work on each other. Kira would want it that way.
Who would want it that way? Was that the god?
Yeah, Kira.
Kira. Oh, Kira. The angel. Okay.
Yes.
The most beautiful of the angels. I grimace a little bit. Well, beautiful.
Thank you. If you'd like to see them more up close and personal, I think something can be arranged.
I'd rather see the techniques.
Ah, fair enough. I think that could also be arranged.
All right, one good thing about this fucking place.
Two good things. Salandra, your nostrils are attracted to a familiar scent. Coffee. Lots of it. Smells good, too.
Ooh.
Like, there's one food vendor who's just, like, cooking up really cheap, easy stuff. It's just like, I want a delicious sandwich that will help keep me alive. And he's like, you got it. And, or like, there is an ample, there are like 3 different pots of different kinds of soups that are like just simmering over a fire.
Coffee.
But there is another guy who has got a much smaller stand with 3 stools in front of it. One of them is attended by not an enormously fat man, but he is a very large man. And he and the proprietor are chatting affably back and forth in a language you may or may not understand. What languages do you know?
Me, I've got Orcish, I've got Gutter, I've got Gnome, I have Elven and Common.
Got it. They are not speaking a language that you understand, although you can tell that it is linguistically similar to Gnomish. Like, you catch a few words here and there, and they're obviously... Oh, one of them is joking. The fat man in the stool is joking, and he is, laughing at his own jokes, and the guy behind the counter is like, oh my god, Goldstein, fucking go home. But the finer points of it are lost.
Find the coffee. I want kind of wander in that direction as soon as I catch the whiff.
And like as you approach, like you can see the look of like glee and happiness dawn on this poor beleaguered dwarf's face as he looks over to you and says, "What do you want, little lady?"
I smell coffee.
And coffee I have brewed from beans from all over the city, and a few rare morsels from beyond.
I don't suppose you do tastings.
Unfortunately not.
Fuck. All right, let's start with something dark and bitter as hell.
Ah. then you'll be wanting something of a brew from the hell jungle. I can make that happen. Anyway,
How much we talking?
Like he almost, like, at the thought of your appreciation for finer coffees, at the thought of currency, he almost hand waves it away and then asks for a silver piece in return.
Okay. I'm good with that.
You slap a silver piece onto the table, and his cohort Goldstein like slides it into like a basket he's got behind the counter, and he starts working on a French press to make you some organically hand brewed caffeinated beverage. And when he slides it over to you, it barely wobbles in its cup. It looks like it's so heavy it's about to break through the floor. When the black hot liquid touches your lips after it's cooled a fair bit, it definitely bears the weight and the savagery of its homeland.
Oh, this could pit brother. Awesome.
Like you're not just drinking it, you have to fight it. It's a fight that you easily win, but it is a delectable cup of coffee that fights you every bit of the way down. Not like physically with its like bizarre liquidity, just like from the flavor alone. It's like, no, I am not meant to be drunk. I will not be consumed by a weakling. And you're like, I ain't weak. I'm gonna drink you coffee. And it's like, very well then, I have been defeated.
Maybe I should rename you.
Brother huffs. I will not be renamed.
Coffee's a good name.
No. Do not name me after a caffeinated beverage.
You're black and bitter. It's full of energy.
Although this is true, if some storybook says, and she bravely brandished her blade, coffee, I'll never live it down.
Yeah, I guess. So, do you guys notice that you lost Solandra to the coffee?
There's
Paul's probably keeping one eye on you, but he's looking at Holly.
Yeah, it doesn't take
And
long.
Clementine is following Holt.
It doesn't take long for Kali to come down the stairs, and she's just like, Halt! Baby, how you doing? And she runs over to you.
Holly!
And she gives you a big old hug. Oh my god,
Yeah.
you big metal galoot. How you doing, big boy?
I'm still kicking.
That's good. That's good.
Managed to pick up a couple of friends along the way.
That's very good. You need some company. And she looks over at Clementine, and then she's like, oh. Short and cute. Interesting.
Clementine gives a little wave.
Holt gestures over to Solandra at the bar.
Right, like Kali's like, you said one more. I don't suppose you mean the goat. And then you point over to Solandra, and she's like, oh my. Where did you find these beautiful things?
Come on, Kali. You know me better than that. You know my type.
Fair.
No, this is purely business between us.
Doesn't matter whether it's business. You've got two incredibly beautiful and deadly friends.
3, if I count you. And I do.
She blushes and like curtsies in a demure way, and she definitely tries to play up the, oh no, I'm just the landlord. I'm perfectly innocent, but you know where she hides. You know where she hides the blades on her person, and you know that she is stronger than she looks, and you know for a fact that she has strangled a man to death. He was exceptionally late on rent. And exceptionally rude about it. You've been late a couple of times, but you're very polite. And you always pay up.
Exactly. We have We're on good terms, and I've done her several favors, and she would only strangle me half to death.
Exactly. She'd come to her senses halfway through and be like, I'm sorry, Halt, I'm sorry, you know how I get.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
That's pretty. Sorry.
I find myself in need of a place to stay. Could I trouble you, darling, for a room?
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Absolutely not. 3 separate beds, I assume?
If we may.
And the goat can stay in the room so long as he doesn't piss or shit on anything.
You
Like-
heard her, Toby. Best behavior.
Toby almost looks offended as he lets out a net. And then Kali like cocks her head a little bit and she's like, did that goat just respond to me?
Yes. He's very smart.
Huh. Anyway, welcome very much to Ninth and Hennepin. Food, ladies, beds, whatever you need. And of course, men.
That's wonderful.
But I'm off. I've got to go balance some accounts. And then, like, Halt, you can clearly see, like, one of her hands grasp into a fist as she just, like, repeats to herself, yeah, balance some accounts. And she titters off behind the counter into a private office.
So yeah, Clementine, you asked me before, and now I can actually show you where my home is.
I love her.
Kali? Yeah, she's a peach.
How did you guys meet?
It is a long story that I will not be able to recount without copious amounts of alcohol that you cannot afford to give me.
That's fair.
Any of you guys want coffee?
I'll join her at the bar, but I'm not going to order coffee.
There is another small, yeah, there's definitely a big bar at the back, and then there's, you know, some tables for drinkers and eaters, and then there's a little area for food, and then the guy has his own little sort of like coffee stand.
That's a good fucking cup of coffee.
Thank you, miss. Thank you,
Are
miss.
you
Look, you're
chewing
enjoying
it?
yourself?
Goldschmidt over here just drinks whatever I throw at him, and Goldschmidt like holds up his hands defensive, and he's like, I just need a buzz. That's all I need, man.
Oh. So Clem, you seem to get on well with the owner.
She's wonderful. Holt says if we get him drunk that he'll tell us how we met her.
He's pretty fucking large.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah, the harder it is to get them drunk.
Listen, I know that we have thousands of gold pieces, but please don't try. Not tonight.
No, you can't. Not financially, I mean, but yeah, to stay focused.
Yeah, right, yeah, focused.
Right, yeah. Anyone ordering drinks
Yeah, focus.
will notice the barkeep is a pretty well-worn but rather young half-orc who has one of those like white shirts with the laces at the top of the chest, and like he's wearing a necklace bearing a fang that is like the size, it might be a fang or a claw, you can't tell because it's fucking huge. It's like the size of a very large, I don't know, like middle finger.
Can Clementine tell?
Actually, yes. Roll knowledge nature if you would like to figure out what it belongs to.
Heck yeah. Let's see. 13?
You're not really sure, but whatever it is, it has to be big, and it's probably not like a normal animal. It's not like a tiger or like something like that. It'd
One
have to
of
be
the
bigger than that.
familiar big boys.
Yeah. And so he pipes up and he's like, all right, so we got beer, cider, ale, mead, and some wine that fell off a truck, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, cider, please.
You got it. 2 copper pieces for a mug of cider.
Yes.
It's good. It's very good.
What are the buildings made out of here?
Most of the buildings are made out of wood. Ninth and Hennepin is made out of brick, and you get the distinct impression that that's why it's sort of like, that's why its name is an address. Like, it has been standing for so long that it has been able to survive sort of lesser disasters that other buildings in the area probably face.
I've never seen so much wood in my entire life.
There is a lot of wood.
How big a forest would it take to build a city like this?
Probably the size of the entire district.
Fuck.
Chop it down and then put it back up.
Clementine gets very sad at that thought.
Clementine also suddenly gets a distinct impression of where all the lumber from District 3 goes.
Yeah.
You could build homes with it, or you could sell it to these guys.
Oh.
Sell it to the lumbermonger. That being said, like, the bartender recognizes Holt immediately, and he's just like, "Holt, how you doing, you bastard?
Hey, buddy.
You piece of shit, you ain't dead yet?"
Not for lack of trying.
Ha!
Let me tell you.
Oh, you're gonna tell me that you're telling me now? Good, good. You ain't lost your District 4 charm.
I flip him a gold piece. Give me a mug of something nice.
You got it. Give me a second. He gets behind. He reaches behind the bar for a venerable bottle, and pours a little bit of that into a tiny glass. And when he not a tiny glass, like a sipping glass, like a highballer glass. And when he puts it down in front of you, he says, "Now sip it." You remember what happened last time?
Okay. I'll take a sip, enough to taste.
It is at the same time like incredibly delicious and overpowering. Like, it's basically Fireball.
Mmm.
Nice.
I look this guy directly in the eyes and shoot the rest of it.
Oh, make a fortitude save.
What do I roll?
Fortitude save.
I didn't hear you.
Fortitude save.
Fortitude save.
Fort save. I can do the fuck out of that. With a 21.
Yeah, no, you can definitely stomach a very incredibly quick and long gulp of Fireball. That being said, like, you can feel the cinnamon fall out of your mouth as you take a deep breath after you inhale it all. And what's this guy's name? Taga. Taga holds up his hands. And he's like, "Looks like we got a badass over here. Everybody, get down."
I let off a little brand in front of Holt's mouth.
Oh, that's wild.
Like, if you pulled it off right, you could probably ignite the fumes coming out of his mouth and use those lit fumes to light a cigarette.
Cool.
That's charmingly intimate.
So, you guys looking for work?
How long
You
do you
cut
think we're
out,
gonna
my
be
dude.
here?
Couple days.
Then yeah, definitely.
Well, you know Duke, he's always looking for someone, and apparently he's got a whole new problem.
Oh boy.
Paying cash up front and upon delivery. So, we do actually have a pretty good sewer system around here. We dump the trash down, we got these creatures down there that eat the trash, and then, I don't know, presumably they shit the eaten trash out someplace else further down. At that point, it's not our problem. But we're getting a lot of sewage blockages. Don't know what the fuck it is. So, Duke
So the
has
Duke's
got
hiring garbage men?
not garbage men exactly. He wants some people to go down there and figure out what the fuck is going on.
What sort of creatures? The Otyug?
Shit, I ain't never heard of what it's called rightly, but it's big, 4 legs, 3 big arm thingies. You know, big mouth, 1 eye. At least that's how I heard it told to me once. Salandra, you are reasonably certain that he is describing an Otyug. You can't think of anything else off the top of your head that looks like that.
I figured that Salandra would know what an Otyug is, given, yeah,
Yeah, you've
they
probably
can't
had to
be
fight one.
unknown.
Yeah, in District 2, there's probably not a huge preponderance of them, just because they don't like bright lights, but every once in a while you'll find an Otyug desperate enough and hungry enough to walk topside and just start mowing down on garbage and, you know, anything else that comes into its sight. Apparently the Duke's got something that's able to talk to him. It's weird.
It would be nice to have the Duke owe me a favor for a change.
Oh. You could get some mileage out of that.
That I could. I'm playing with one of my knives. I kind of imagine doing the same.
Hey, that's fine. He knows that you own you've got knife playing for privileges. Fucking
I do.
Fucking Joffrey over there at the table. He's got a knife and he'd love to play with it in a menacing manner, but he's not allowed to because he doesn't have knife playing privileges. And if he wants them, he's gonna have to shape up his act. Fucking Joffrey.
I imagine there's like a card, like a slate on the wall with a list of people that have knife playing privileges.
Joffrey isn't a douchey blonde kid, is he?
He is not a douchey blonde kid.
Just
He
curious.
is a tall halfling with messy white hair and bright brown eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. Is a willowy, silver-haired, gray-eyed halfling who is clearly mentally ill. You know, Belcar Bitterleaf levels of mentally ill.
So what do you think, guys? You wanna take this job on the side while we wait?
How well does this Duke pay?
Well, okay.
Handsomely.
He said you get 500 just for going down there, but you get another 3,000 if you figure out what the problem is.
Deal.
And then another 3,000 on top of that if you fix it.
Whoa.
Dude,
I'd
people
start
don't like
feeling
having
down to
shit in their
Clementine.
houses.
Clementine, he can do better than that, honestly.
Oh god, yes he could. That being said, plugging the Duke for money is usually a bad idea.
I'm just saying. He's not digging deep into his pockets here.
No, absolutely not.
No, but it would deepen mine.
Clementine, how are you with diseases? As in fixing them?
Um, a little above average, I'd say.
Just curious, because if we go into sewers, as someone who had a few rock grubs in my leg one time, yeah,
Yeah, good thing you know Auntie. Otherwise, that shit. I don't know. I'm not going to say that you would have succumbed to rot grub infection, but it may have weakened you sufficiently that something else may have been able to get you. That being said, I can tell Clementine that Remove Disease is a 3rd level spell.
Yes.
You might not necessarily want it memorized, but you're going to want to remember that you know it, because diseases are going to happen.
Man, it's bad when the DM admits that outright.
It's the sewers,
yeah.
dude.
Right before he sends us on a sewer.
Yeah.
Well, I
Like-
mean, I guess it makes sense because we're gonna be crawling through shit, but
Like,
still.
filth fever is a constant risk. Let me just find me a list of diseases, damn it.
Oh. He's annoying, but Corgan's handy.
Isn't he? Isn't he?
This knife is so tiny. What do I even do with it?
That's the eternal question. I don't even know what half this
I open
shit
up
is.
anything or incense.
Athracitis, blue spit, bog rot, coward's mark, demon fever, cholera. I recognize cholera. They've got stats for cholera in this game now. Rabies, the shakes,
Great. I'm
scarlet
so
leprosy,
happy that Pathfinder added
shattermind.
that.
Ooh, slimy doom is my favorite. I know what that one does.
What does it do?
Slimy doom, okay, so like here's how it works. So it's a disease. You get it by contact. So you make a fortitude save. If you fail the fortitude save, you contract it. And then 1 day later, you take 1d4 points of constitution damage. Then you make a save. And if you fail the save, okay, if you succeed on the save to resist, you take 1d4 points of constitution damage. If you fail, you take an additional point of constitution drain. And then every day thereafter, you keep rolling. And then if you roll 2 consecutive saves that overcome the fortitude DC, you're able to resist the disease. But if you fail, your body decomposes into slime.
Great.
Oh.
And then that slime also carries the affliction. So if someone else like steps in it or like gets too close to it or like touches it in any way, it can spread to them.
That's great. I hate all of it.
Hey!
Yeah. Clementine, can you make healing potions? Or like disease resistance potions?
Yes, I can.
Let's say that's a thing that Clementine can do.
I can definitely do that.
Okay.
They're going to be a little pricey.
Yeah, let me just pull up my sheet here.
About to say, because I'm pretty sure making a potion costs like 1/4 of the potion's listed cost. Magic item creation rules. And you can make 1 a day, basically.
I can't spell scar someone else, can I?
No, you cannot. I mean, you could if they had the ability to cast spells, but like if they don't know how to cast... I mean, like, I am going to say that you can definitely spell scar somebody else, and then they could try to, quote-unquote, activate the scroll, but like if they have no magical capability, then like they're going to have a hard time doing it.
Would it go against my 18 levels of spells?
No, it would not. I would say that they have 18 levels of spells worth of... That's just like the space on their body and how big the tattoos have to be.
Oh.
That being said, Clementine would have to use use magic device checks in order to cast a spell, and like the number is higher if they don't have the same casting tradition as you.
Oh, okay.
That being said, like if Clementine pumps a bunch of points into use magic device and you give her simple spells, she can totally cast that shit. Hell, if Holt pumps a bunch of points into use magic device, he could cast the spells that you inscribe on his body.
This is not. You're not allowed to make me into a spell book.
Also,
Into a spell book. I think that's really neat.
Also, in addition, if push came to shove, you could quite possibly invoke the spell scars on somebody else's body.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
I would say that they get an additional save if they don't want you casting their spells, though.
That's cray.
But like, if Solandra was unconscious and she had like a lightning bolt spell scar scroll, and some wizard was out of lightning bolts, he could be like, "Give me that spell, bitch," and take your lightning bolts and then cast it at your friends. Obviously, there's a save.
I'm just visualizing like this evil dark lord type holding Solandra and reading her.
So crafting the potion is 25 gold pieces times the level of the spell times the level of the caster, but I'm going to say that that's like irrelevant and doesn't matter. So it costs 75 gold pieces to brew a remove disease potion. And a number of experience points equal to some coefficient of that. I'm going to say...
Too much math.
Too much math. I'm going to say that just for the sake of simplicity in the mathematics, all experience point costs are going to be 1/5 of the gold piece costs. So it will cost 12 experience points. No, not 12. 15 experience points in order to craft the potion. And those don't come off like the top. They come out of your available pool of experience points. So if you have like 25,000 experience points, you don't lose XP from making items, but your available pool of crafting XP is reduced by 25. I'm sorry, 15.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently your experience points acts as like some sort of inspiration for making items. So like once you make... Let me open up a calculator.
That's kind of interesting. Didn't know that that's how it worked.
Neither do I.
It's a thing, and in 3.5 it's way more strict and way more like explicitly damaging. So like that being said, at 25,000 experience points, you could only make 1,666 remove disease potions, and then after that you'd be like, I don't want to make things anymore. Alternatively, you could make something else. Which reminds me, I should probably have calculated how many experience points Grub has used up. But let's not worry about that.
All of them.
Probably not.
Probably not. He has like maybe 5 left. After making a big old ship.
Actually, because it's not a magical ship, it doesn't cost experience points to make.
Fine.
Yeah, and I think it's like that his class is kind of
Built for
main
it.
focus.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure I gave him half gold. In any event, discuss amongst yourselves like what you want to do and how you want to prepare for this grave expedition. Also, one of you should probably talk to Duke before you go running off all gung-ho about doing this, before you actually know that he's okay with you doing it.
I think Holt's volunteering to go make the deal.
Yep, I can do that.
I guess we can just hang out here. Do you want me to come along?
Yeah, I mean, we can run back up.
You
Okay.
should stay with Clementine. I've got something else I need to do while I'm here as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get it done on the way.
How many, alright, how many potions are we gonna want to make?
Probably one for each of you, just for like emergency inoculation, because like some diseases onset quick. I'm looking at you, Mummy Rot.
That's my least favorite.
Maybe because it's fucking almost incurable.
Yeah, that'd be it.
That's the big one.
Basically magical leprosy. And then you also have actual leprosy.
I'm about to say, leprosy,
It's the
totally
worst.
a thing. It will fuck you up. And like some diseases are just like terminal. Like some diseases just kill you.
Does Clementine already have used magic device?
I do not. I don't know why I don't.
So I show her a little bit about how my spell scars work, but probably not going to do her much good. But I can give you a regular tattoo.
Cool. I've been planning which ones.
Yep.
So while they're talking about tattoos, I would actually like to have a quick word with Taga.
What do you need, Chief?
My good buddy, old pal.
Oh, sorry. I must not have transmitted. Taga looks at you and says, "What do you need, Chief?"
Is that Fight Club still up and running in the district? Or did they shut that down?
Which fight club are you talking about? Bloody Knuckles?
More blood the better. I find myself in need of some entertainment.
Yeah, Bloody Knuckles got shut down, but they got another one out there. It's called the Ivory Foot,
Okay.
and it's let me look up a random address generator.
Nice.
I love how many generators you have for so many.
Dude,
Yeah,
you
it
don't
makes
know.
it so believable and big.
I got shit all over the place. We got 123rd, 6th, and Melbourne. This is where you can find the Ivory Foot. Alternatively, you could go over to their competition, the Black Hand.
Which would you recommend? Which is more fun?
The Black Hand is definitely more fun, if by fun you mean incredibly deadly, but, you know, you do you, boo.
Alright, well, if I don't come back, I don't know. Tell him I died doing something more fun than fighting in a underground fighting ring.
Got it. So we'll drag your corpse back here, wait for rigor mortis to set in, get your dick hard as a
Perfect.
pike, put you in a whore's bed, and say, "Ah, God, he died fucking."
Yes!
Perfect.
Perfect. Oh, God. I know you have my back, buddy.
What can I
He
say?
died as he lived. Fucking shit up.
Alright, Holt's gonna take his leave.
So I assume that Clementine is going to make some potions. What's Solandra doing?
Well, Solandra can probably has time to do one more spell scar.
Sweet. Spellcasters. What do you do now that we're on vacation? I do magic shit. How much magic shit? All of it.
Well, it's sort of like, yeah, in terms of my fiance, her job is her hobby, so she gladly works till midnight all the time, and because she loves the fuck out of what she's doing. So in the case of Solandra, she loves the fuck out of doing weird magical research.
Especially when that weird magical shit research involves tattoos. You found the two great tastes that taste great together.
Yep.
So Holt, where are you headed?
You see, my head's telling me that I should go and track down the Duke and get this deal rolling, but my heart is telling me blood, 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 blood. I'm gonna go to the Black Hand.
All right. The Black Hand is like right across the street. I told you, like Kaga mentioned that they were in fierce competition. Now you see exactly how fierce the competition is. Like they're literally right across from each other.
Excellent.
And like they serve two very different clientele, and like one of them is just like a boot that is like one of them has a sign out front that like has no words on it. It's just a boot that's all in white, and the other one is like with a black background, and the other one has a white background and just like a black handprint on it.
Nice.
And like there's a barker over at the Ivory Foot, and he's like, "You want a good clean fight? You want to see a good clean fight? You want to get into a good clean fight? You come on down to the Ivory Foot. We got the lowest fatalities. You guilty conscience? What's the point? These men just want to beat the shit out of each other. Why shouldn't we let you watch?" Meanwhile, over at the Black Hand side, they're like, "And those fucking pussies over at the Ivory Foot are like trying to help people and trying to stop them from dying. If you want blood, if you want people to die, you come over here. You ever want to just see someone expire, just let out their last breath? You come over to the Black Hand." And then they start just like shouting obscenities at each other.
Maybe the two of you should duke it out, huh?
And like they each look at you with incredibly nervous glances. And they're like, like the representative of the Black Hand is like, "I'd love to take that ivory shit stain and just fucking wipe the street with him, but unfortunately there will be dire consequences if I do that."
Fair enough.
You can obviously tell that someone has volunteered this idea before, and after whatever bloody mayhem they raised last time, open competition between them has been outlawed. Not like literally outlawed because laws don't exist, but like someone probably the Duke,
actually outlawed by the Union of Street Cleaners that had to pick up the mess.
something like that. Either the Duke was like, "Okay, you guys can't do this anymore," or someone complained and was like, "Okay, if you fuckers do this, we're gonna burn your houses down." Okay, first one, you get off scot-free because holy shit, that was a hell of a fight, but never again.
Go into the Black Hand.
Cool. So you go into the Black Hand. The doorman is another impressively armored individual such as yourself, and he's like, "So, are you here to watch or are you here to participate?"
Participate.
Got it. Okay. First things first, I'm gonna have to pat you down.
That's fine. We've got this big sword, this knife.
He takes the sword and he takes the knife, and you're not trying to hide any other weapons, are you?
I don't have any other weapons.
Cool. So like he pats you down and he's like, "All right, that's cool." And he takes the sword and he takes the knife and he's like, "Your name?"
Nikolai Holt.
Cool. And he takes a tag and he writes Nikolai Holt on it in some very messy handwriting, and like wraps a tag around the handle of each weapon. And he's like, "And if you're going to participate, we also ask for your armor."
That's fine.
Fantastic. And he takes the armor off of you, like, because it's mithril chain shirt, it's like very easy to pick up, and he like holds it in his hands. He's like, "Wow, light." And he puts all of your things into a locker, and locks it up, and he's like, "I have a key," and he pulls another key out of his pocket, and he's like, "You have a key. Don't
Beauty.
lose your key."
Pocket the key.
Of course, if you die, all of your possessions are forfeit.
I don't plan on dying.
Nobody does.
Excellent. I like this place. I think.
And he gestures you in. Like what lies before you is like a large, ill-kept warehouse sort of like area with a large cage in the center, surrounded by a variety of hazards like spikes and all sorts of nasty things. It's like Thunderdome basically.
I love it.
There's a ceiling high above, and it is adorned with a variety of like incredibly bloody and horrifically encrusted weapons of awful description and variety. We got morning stars and swords and axes and knives, and like there's a crossbow over there, and there's something over there, and you don't know what it is. It looks like this. It looks nasty, but you're not exactly sure how you're supposed to hurt someone with it, but like, whatever. Maybe it will make itself apparent when it's in your hands.
It's probably some kind of bludgeoning weapon.
That would make sense. But then the handle is covered with all these blades? I don't know, whatever, fuck it. You've seen people kill each other with like worse implements. You saw a dude kill another dude with a trowel. A trowel. You didn't know you could stab someone with a trowel.
He was very motivated.
He was very motivated. Apparently the other guy stooped his wife, and no one had any evidence to the contrary. Or in support of him, so they just assumed that he was right. Because motherfucker just killed a dude with a trowel.
Only a desperate man does that.
Only a truly desperate man does such a thing. It's a bit of a downtime right now. Light is streaming in through some holes in the walls and a couple of windows. There is a very large sort of like raised box, like with raised box seats, that is currently empty. There are no competitors in the arena or entering the arena. You can actually see a cleaning crew like cleaning up a large pile of blood. Oh, what is this?
It's just a trowel.
For those who don't know what a trowel is, that is what a trowel
It
is.
is definitely one of those.
Isn't that a line from fucking Cabin in the... Like, yeah, I had to kill that guy with a trowel.
Maybe?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember that part of Cabin in the Woods. All I remember is the weird monster gallery.
It was right before that.
Nice.
Bitch, tell me that's not our fire alarm. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it's upstairs.
Okay.
Motherfuckers.
They
Press
better
is
not.
averted.
They better not burn the house down while I'm in the middle of making my YouTube videos. I'll be very upset.
No, edible color.
Alright, well, I'm gonna need a beverage before probably dying for doing something stupid, so give me like 2 minutes.
This is acceptable. What did you say, David?
I want to
I said it would add some color.
Cap just danced by singing, I didn't think this
Through. Awesome. Hilarious. I love it.
And Clementine and Salandra decide never to leave Holt alone again.
We assume he's just going to negotiate with the Duke. I don't
know what you're talking about.
He's just going off to work. He's gonna help us.
Is Holt actually the one with the best social skills?
Oh god, I think he might be.
Probably.
I see Clementine as being really charismatic.
Let me see what her fucking charisma score is.
I can assure you, Grub is definitely... No, he can't.
No,
Clementine has a +1 for charisma, so she's not super charismatic, but she's cute.
Yep.
So that kind of leads people to like her more than she merits.
Oh, she's cute as fuck.
Exactly.
Hold that hand. Oh, I got it.
Huh. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cap just dropped chocolate into my lap.
I just dropped the Lindt chocolate on.
Lint chocolate. Hazelnut lint.
Damn.
Come on, I didn't like
It's time for some fucking
spend all of my
Toblerone.
hard-earned money on Lindt. Just not eat it.
So good.
it'll be funny
Do not eat all of it right now.
when brother gets to be the most socially adept person in the party.
Let me talk to him. All right, I need to touch this sword to your head. No, fuck you. I'm not letting you do that. No, trust me. He's got away with words. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Those headphones back on.
That would get our point across.
Oh fuck.
I'm waiting until you find the, like, incredibly peculiar motherfucker who's like, yeah, sure, fine. Touch the sword to my head. And then he'll hear your brother's voice. And he'll be the only other person who believes it. And then you guys, and then, like, you'll be like, see? He has a way with words. Meanwhile, Clementine and Halt will be like, what the fuck are you doing? It's a talking sword.
Got my weird mix of sun-kissed and actual orange juice.
Ooh.
It's delicious.
Also, Holt, when you get closer to the arena, your eyes are drawn upward, like, as you look up at the arrangement of weapons. And when you look at the ceiling, there is a crude but, like, very beautifully drawn, painted mural of Gemma.
Huh.
And it's like, Gemma is just, like, fucking some dude up. Like, there is, like, some prisoner, soldier, you don't know, but, like, the victim has been obscured by either years of age or, like, an unattentive artsmanship, and he has been beheaded, and just, like, a fountain of blood is coming out of his neck stump, and Gemma has raised his head in one hand and his gisarme in the other.
It's kind of beautiful.
Like, they got Gemma real good. They did a fantastic job of rendering Gemma. And meanwhile, most of the room is adorned with torches that keep it alight. And, you know, there is a very large audience, and they're just looking back and forth and like, yeah, no, that was a good fight. Yeah, no, that was really good. I didn't expect the little guy to do him in that hard. Yeah, I know. I thought Clem had more fight in him, but we were wrong.
No, Clem's dead.
No, not Clem. One of the Black Hand attendants comes to you and he's like, Nikolai Holt, the doorman mentioned that you would like to participate.
Yes, sir.
All right, please follow me.
All right.
Oh, I remember the cheese. Cap, do you still have the cheese knife in there?
Let me check my ass.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Sweet, I'm coming for you.
So you're led through a series of, like, dark torchlit hallways until you come upon a room, and the attendant gestures you inside, and within there is, like, all right, so here's what you notice about the woman first. Number one, her head is covered in snakes. Number two, she is wearing a blindfold.
Literal moving snakes.
Literal moving, writhing snakes. Number two,
Great.
she is wearing a blindfold. Number three, she is utterly nude. Fourth, there is a snake tail, like, peering out from the corner of an impressive-looking desk that is arranged with a series of, like, papers and loose coins. You do not yet understand exactly how it is that she is able to understand what is written on these things without being able to see herself.
I have never seen anything like this before.
You have not. So, you come to me, and yet you are frightened in my presence, and you think you can survive in my arena?
I certainly hope to survive in your arena.
Hope. A useful expression. Rely on your skills instead.
Well, if that's the case, then I feel much better about my odds.
Marvelous. Now then. You're... Nikolai Holt, you're a tough one. Alright. We can build this. We can draw this in. Give us a half hour to build you up, and then we'll give you someone someone to fight against. Is that what you
Sounds
would
good
like?
to me.
Fantastic. For the glory of Gemma. Now then, she looks you over. Do you still have the Giant's Heart doses on your person, or did you turn those in as well?
I did not turn those in. Those are in my belt pouch.
Sounds good. She looks you over and recognizes them like immediately and says, "Now. No using them during the fight, but you can do whatever you want when you're done."
Fair enough. I will hand over the vials to her personally. I have some friends waiting. I came here to spill blood and put on a good show. And with that, I can spill quite a lot.
Halt, I didn't know you were so bloodthirsty. I like it. Let's see if Gemma likes it too. And she takes the vials and puts them into a secure pouch on a sash around her quote unquote torso?
I guess? Where does torso end and tail begin, truly?
On a Gorgon, it's impossible to tell. In any event, you're taken back out into the arena, and they start hyping you up, and they start talking about shit that you've done, and you're like, he fought off the whole. Oh, let me get a random gang generator. He fought off the Thunder Snakes and the Furies in the same night, ladies and gentlemen. That is completely false. You fought them off on different nights. It was not the same night.
There's like 4 or 5 of them at most.
I was about to say, these were not exactly huge gangs. I mean, one guy taking on 5 guys, pretty good, but let's not, oh, whatever, screw it. And he totally hypes you up as just this unstoppable, unkillable colossus. And then but then in order to hype things down a little bit, but he's not in his armor tonight, folks. That singing shield and slashing sword have been laid aside. Now he fights in our arena. For you are generous, audience. He'll have to see how he fares in Gemma's ring. And his opponent is... there's a combination of cheers and boos. Let me see if I can get a half-orc name generator. It's pretty clear the people who are cheering are just sweet, a professional killer. Let's see if he can really fuck some things up. And the people booing are just nah, this guy sounds too cool. I want to see him fail. Bip. What do we got? Cool. And his opponent, 3-time winner, come back to make some more coin, is Garagal. Apparently not sated enough with 3 of his latest victims, only 1 survivor, no functioning limbs. And Garagal comes out of his corner, and he's just I don't want to say that all big tough half-orcs look the same, but he is a big tough looking half-orc.
Not all half-orcs.
Not all half-orcs. He has opted not to wear a shirt, and just his gray body is slightly misshapen, just his proportions are off. But that's just what it's like to be a half-orc, and he looks like a big tough boy. And
wants to fight without a shirt?
I'll
Fuck
fight
it, I'll
without
take off
any,
my shirt.
I'll fight without any pants.
I'm not pants stay on.
The pants stay on.
Yeah.
But yeah, after a bit of hyping and some scantily clad women walk around handing out overpriced drinks. Somebody Like, somebody goes over to you and they're just like, all right, here are the rules. If you get to the weapons, you can do whatever you want with them. You don't have to kill them if you don't want to, but, you know, we will pay you twice as much if you do. And we'll throw another 50% on top of that if you can make it as gruesome as possible. We have a very discerning clientele, he says, gesturing to the box, which has the high box, which is currently shrouded in shadow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
You ever just thank God for Fight Club era Brad Pitt?
You ever just thank God?
Thank God for me. But yeah, no, that is basically the environment that you're currently in.
Perfect.
Right. As he stipulated, if you can get to the weapons, you can use them. Otherwise, you're fighting with your fists. Halt, do you have improved unarmed strike?
I do not.
There are going to be a lot of attacks of opportunity flying around.
Excellent. I would like to let you know that as human favored class, I have +1 to 2 different combat CMD. I get to add +1 to my CMD on 2 different combat maneuvers, which are grapples and disarm.
Nice. Those will be useful.
Haha!
That being said, don't try... I mean, you can totally just grab the blade of his sword and, like, wrench it out of his hands if you want to, but you will take damage.
That's fine.
Not much, but you will take some. In any event. Nobody expects you to do that. You're like, no, I'm going to grab your sword by the blade. And they're like, excuse me? You do what with my what now?
Precisely.
In any event, you come in, he comes in, and, like, Garrigal is... most orcs that you fought in the past, they tend to be like blustery and they like roar and shout a lot. And Garrigal's not like that. He comes in, he looks at you, and like almost gives you half a bow. Like it's like 1/16 of a bow, just like, we who are about to die salute you. It will be an honor to kill you, Mr. Holt.
Holt will return the gesture. It is a decent thing to do.
And without any, like, pomp or circumstance, just, like, a roar is let out. Roll initiative.
Okay. Oh, fuck, no. My D20 made a desperate bid for freedom.
Oh, God, there it goes.
There it goes, 17.
Oh, you definitely go before Garrigal. Holt, what would you like to do?
Cool. Where the fuck on the wall are the heavy swords?
I'm going to roll a D percentile, and we will find out. 8 squares away, horizontally, okay. and then like 10 feet up. You could try to jump to grab one, although it'd probably be better to, like, I don't know, find some other way to raise your height. That being said, like,
climbing,
yeah, like you can climb along the side.
Not terrible at.
I mean, like, what? Oh, what's the roll to jump vertically? There's a roll for that.
Acrobatics?
Oh, it's definitely an acrobatics roll and an athletics roll. I say that you can do either. You know, like, you can use acrobatics to jump dexterously, or you can use strength to jump athletically. Like, your choice.
Let me take off my shield and armor for a second, just so I don't fuck up my AC when I tell it to you.
I accidentally looked up the jump spell.
I do not have that.
And apparently, the acrobatics page has been disabled.
That's great. The only people that really know how to do that are rogues, and who the fuck plays a rogue?
Who the fuck plays a rogue, right? Except me.
Yeah, which Chris? Trying.
Like, I want to start moving towards where the swords are on the wall. I'll probably move, like, what, 2 squares? And I have a feeling that he'll be intercepting me on the way.
I'm about to say, it's 40 feet away to
40
get
feet away,
to...
I can move 25.
You can move up to 30 now that your armor isn't weighing you down.
30.
Now that your load isn't weighing you down. So you're going to need at least a 16 on your athletics or acrobatics roll in order to get high enough in order to grab one of the weapons. And I mean, the higher you roll, the better, because it will affect your ability to grab it when you get up that high. Alternatively, you can also like try to like, I don't know, push him into the spikes or whatever. You know, you do what you want. You do you, boo. Oh, fuck.
What'd you do?
I have a fidget toy, and I keep dropping it on my spacebar, so it makes a lot of noise, but it's on the other side of my microphone, so, like, no one can hear it.
Alright, cool. So, you cut out a little bit. How far can I travel again?
You can travel 30 feet and around. If you can travel 30 feet with a move action, and you can turn your standard action into another move action. So you could conceivably like run and try to jump at the sword at the same time in this turn, and it would give you a bonus because you get a running start on the jump. But that would use your entire turn, and there is no guarantee that you will successfully get the sword.
But I trust my D20, so let's give that a try.
Go for it. So make
Come
an
on, baby.
acrobatics or athletics roll with a +4 bonus.
Okay. What do the fates have for me? With a plus 18?
18 total?
Yeah, 18 total.
Okay, you definitely get an opportunity to reach for the sword. Make a dexterity roll.
All right. With a 4.
Okay, so you jump up, you get good air. You grab the sword. Unfortunately, you grab it by the blade part. And you take 13 points of damage as you wrench it down, and your hand gets mangled.
Great.
Fuck
it.
If you use your mangled hand, like if you use your good hand to cover up your mangled hand, you'll be able to successfully wield the sword in 2 hands.
Okay. I can do that. It's not like I have a shield.
What size? I thought you were going for a great sword. What size sword are you going for?
No, heavy sword or a long sword. Either way.
In any event,
a sword.
You got a great sword.
All right, cool. Great sword.
So Garagol looks at you, and he, let me look up a combat maneuver. Here we go. Cool. A look of intensity crosses over his face as he rushes towards you. What is your combat maneuver defense?
My CMD is 22.
22. You lost all your armor though.
Oh, right. My BAB is 7. You had the dodge. So 12?
Sounds good. So he rushes forward.
Why didn't that update?
Let me look at what goes into a CMD real quick. Yep, it's 10 plus BAB plus strength or dexterity. I'm sorry, strength and dexterity. So it should be higher than 12. So
that's 7 plus 5 plus 10?
Yeah, so yeah, you're right, it is 22.
Yay.
Damn, son. You so agile.
Big boy.
So he runs up to you, and he, like, shoulder checks you, but you don't give any ground, and you realize you are perilously close to some of the spikes on the walls. But his turn is passed, and now it is your turn.
I want to get away from the spikes, so if I can move over a square, that'd be great.
You can take a 5-foot step without provoking an attack of opportunity, and that will like get you out of range of the immediate spikes. So you move towards you. You change your angle so that you are now like far away from the spikes on the like the northern wall. Like you started off on the east side, he started off on the west side. You made a rush to like the northwestern sort of corner area, and you take a 5-foot step east. So you're now closer to where you started, and that does not take any of your actions for the turn.
All right, excellent. So I'll do that, and I will make a slash at his back with the sword.
Go for it.
Assuming like he rushed past me. Okay.
No, like you move over to the side, and he's still like in a like he's still facing you. He's still battle ready, but you can definitely try and get him.
With a 17.
A 17 is a hit. Roll 2d6 plus half strength. I'm gonna say.
Oh shit! I'm gonna need another d6.
Like, because of your mangled
Luckily,
hand, you would love to swing this sword as hard as you possibly can, but you can't. Like, you physically can't.
So 2d6 plus what?
2d6 plus half of your strength.
Okay.
Normally, it would be strength and a half, but because of your mangled hand, you can't swing it as hard as you would like to.
Would that be up or down? Because I have 3 as my strength mod.
I'm going to round it up because I'm working against you.
All right. Good man. So that will be 5 plus 1 plus 2, so 8.
8. You slash him for 8 damage, and he's like, ow! How many hit points would he have? Just gonna throw a number out there. Alright. So you cut him. He gets cut. Like, he doesn't really seem to notice the cut. Not to say that it didn't do any damage, but not to say that it is not a wound so grievous that he has not received something similar in the past.
It wouldn't be a good show if I killed him in one hit.
Right? That would be awful.
Grab a weapon. Let's make this interesting.
Like, almost in prediction of your words, he leaps up. Thank goodness you can't critically fail on skill checks.
Hey, can't Holt get an attack of opportunity on when he leaps up?
You know what? I'm gonna say yes.
Sorry,
All right. No,
Sandra's not there.
that's a brilliant idea. That's not Solandra talking. That's Dave talking as an interesting GM. So Holt, get an attack on him.
Okay.
Just like he leaves his defenses wide open as he leaps up.
Oh, Jesus. 16 plus 7, low math.
You hit him.
That's what, 23?
You hit him. His armor class is very low. That is what happens when you fight unarmored targets.
Alright. Sorry, buddy. Oh, that's too bad. That's 11.
That's 11. So he takes 11. So, okay, here's the thing. He rolled a natural 1 on his athletics check to get up there, but his athletics check is so high that he is actually able to make the roll despite rolling a 1. And then he rolled a natural 20 on his dexterity roll to grab a weapon. So you get an attack on him. He leaps up. He grabs a weapon off the top. You cut him across the belly, spilling blood all over the arena, and then he comes down on your head with the weapon that he drew.
Oh boy.
Let me look. Oh man, I have a random weapon generator. What's he got? Ooh, 7th Sanctum. Good stuff.
I don't know why, but I'm just visualizing Maul.
Chaotic shiny weapon generator. You know, I'm angling for a big hammer, but let's see what it is. Forge a new weapon. You know what? Fuck it. It's a giant hammer. He comes down on your head with a giant hammer. What is your armor class?
My armor class is 12.
What the fuck? Huh. This is so Chaotic Shiny is an interesting website. It has a magic weapon generator that's like weapon, bastard sword, alignment, chaotic, wielded by rogues. Look, perpetually wreathed with flames. Fame, considered to be mythical. Quirk, seems to gravitate towards those with musical talents above others. Created in the fires of hell itself. Main effects, burst into flames at wielder's command. Secondary effect, increases the wielder's musical talents. Restriction, periodically needs to rest and draw power from fire. Draws power normally from its reputation. Ding. Oh god, restriction. Gives the wielder wild mood swings. Anyway. Neato. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We don't need another hero.
I fucking love Thunderdome.
Dude,
You activated
Thunderdome
my
is
trap
so
card.
good. Oh no! But like, you activating your trap card activated my trap card, because I also love Thunderdome.
Ah! Trap card buddies.
Oh god, we're in a counter war. So you mana leak, then I mana tithe, then you remand, and then I and then I cancel, and then you last word, but then I Venser the last sojourner, so then you force of will, and then I force of will, and we're gonna be at this all day.
Pretty
In
much
any event,
forever and always.
Why am I just visualizing a cutscene, Landry giving each other pedicure?
Because
I
they
wonder how
probably
Halt
are.
is doing.
Yeah, we're just kicking it.
I wonder how Halt is doing. Meanwhile,
In
like
Thunderdome.
Garrigle comes down on you with a hammer that should have shattered your neck as you take 14 points of damage.
Alrighty. It's fine, don't worry about it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I will definitely not have neck damage later in my life. Ha! What later in life? That being said,
We live
back
in
to
the
your
here
turn.
and now.
Back
Alright,
to your
excellent.
turn, Holt.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to make another slash at this guy.
Sounds good.
We are now locked in armed combat. Which makes me feel a little more honorable. Oh. Well, I certainly hope that his AC isn't too high. 10?
10? Total of a 10, so you rolled a 3?
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Got it. That is a miss.
Nice.
You make a wide swing at him, and he's able to use the handle of his maul in order to block your incoming blade. And then you realize it, you saw him going to do that, and you were like, all right, fine, I'll just chop through the handle of his maul, and then like your blade clangs off, and you're like, oh, that handle's made of metal. That's not. Wait a minute. You realize pretty quickly that this maul is sort of just like a chunk of concrete on the end of a piece of rebar.
Nice.
It's probably heavy as fuck, but you know that just lends to its killing power. At which point it goes over to his turn. So what's your armor class?
12.
12. All right, so he's gonna hit you twice, and that's a critical threat. Confirm the critical. Okay. Holt, are you ready for blood? So the first attack hits you for 15 points of damage. And then the second attack
Okay.
hits you for 33 points of damage.
So 15 and 33?
Yes.
Or is 33 the total?
No, 15 and then 33. Wait, no, that can't
Okay.
be right. No, I'm sorry, 13 and then 33, so a total of 46.
Jesus.
I'm down. I'm out.
You are out?
I'm at -4.
You're at -4. Make a fortitude save. Keep going, you bastard. You wanted blood, you fucker.
16?
16. That'll keep you up for 1 turn.
Yeah?
Yes. So. Oh, man. Oh, man, I love this shit. Holt, you hear a voice in your head.
Voice in my head? So, noob thing. I've never had a character get past like level 5 before.
Okay.
So it's been brought to my attention that I have the ability to make multiple attacks per round.
Yes. So your first attack is at your full base attack bonus, and your second attack is at your base attack bonus -5.
Excellent. So I can make 1 attack at +7 and 1 attack at +2. All right. Good. Cool. Awesome. Glad. Good to know.
What do you do, Holt?
Okay. Well, I guess I have 1 more round to make this work. I'm gonna thrust my blade up into this guy.
All right, you thrust your blade up, and like those. What's that? Is that the Sistine Chapel where like God touches what's his face's hand?
Yeah.
Like you look up and you start having the most vivid hallucination you've ever had in your life, and maybe that's just because of the blood loss, but you're not quite sure. The depiction of Gemma reaches down, and like his arm stretches and it reaches through the bars of the cage, and like it takes its hand over your hands and like brings the blade down on Garrigal. And like you can feel the strength in that hand as it moves your arms, and it is so intense and mighty. And like as the blade comes down, like okay, so Garrigal gets chopped from stem to stern. Like the blade goes through his skull, severing the spine and then like crashing through a couple of ribs before it gets embedded in his rib cage around his sternum. Make a fortitude save.
14?
So your right arm gets like, so your right hand got mangled by grabbing this thing, and that like weakened its grip, and because its grip was weakened, like you can feel a bone in it snap as your blade gets moved like so powerfully. As you look around, no one else seems to have noticed exactly what happened, but you lose consciousness far before you're able to figure out what to do next.
Okay.
You come to with Giant's heart coursing through your veins as the Gorgon administers it to you in your office, in her office, and like you feel the incredible surge. How long has it been since you last used? 9 days? 10 days?
Like almost 2 weeks.
Got it. So I'm going to put that at 12 days. So that's 12 rounds of 12 hit points per round. And you're at, you were at -4. You are currently at
Yep.
-9. What is your hit point total? Send me a private message.
Yep.
Okay, I've got some good news. You do not explode.
Thank God.
That being said, at your earliest convenience, you do split your arm open with a knife as you've done before.
Okay.
Okay, so you go to do that, and I'm like, I am absolutely telling you what your character does. I'm sorry, you have a problem.
This is fine.
You have a problem, Holt. And the Gorgon grabs your hand, and she's like, not in here. And like, you are desperately trying to just split your arm open because you just feel so full of blood, and like, she struggles with you out of her office, and like when she comes out, 2 of her attendants are like, oh my god, should we kill this guy? And then she lets you do your thing, and you just spray blood all over her and them and the hallway. And then you feel that familiar come down effect, and then she leads you inside, and now you are coated red, and so is she.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I understand the nature of your disease, and I also understand the nature of the deal that you have just struck. Holt, my lord, will be coming to you soon. He has need
that
of your
really
services.
happened.
Oh, yes. Although I doubt there are many out there who had the wisdom to see. All they saw was an incredible blow, but those of us who have the sight were able to know what truly happened. You have been chosen. That being said,
What does that mean? Like,
Gemma likes
chosen.
you. That's all. Gemma will have need of you in the future. You will have to repay your debt to him.
Alright, well. Being in debt to a god, being in debt to the Duke. It's all the same at the end, isn't it?
It's not too far off. What the Duke will do to you is far more corporeal than what my lord is capable of. But
I was just making a stupid comparison. Sorry, this
I
is a lot to take in.
understand. You're a little out of it. You've had a hard day. Well, perhaps some currency will clear your mind. She produces a gem for you. You do not know what it's worth, nor do you have the wherewithal to appraise it. It's a rather small
What is it?
ruby. A small ruby.
Oh, that's nice. Very good.
When my lord needs you, he will call you. And when he calls you, you should answer.
Understood.
Marvelous. Good night, Nikolai.
May I ask your name? I have a feeling that we're going to be, associates.
Can I find a random Gorgon name generator? Fuck yeah, I can!
Awesome.
People on the fucking internet have too much time.
No, they have just the right amount of time.
My name is Niamisa. Come here and you will find me.
Okay. Enjoy your next fight then, Niamisa, and hopefully we'll meet again.
Like, she sort of fans her fingers at you as she waves you out. The
Good.
attendants take you to a room where you are like blasted with water and
Good.
cleaned. One of them asks, maybe take your pants?
Fuck no. Stay on. I don't care if they're wet.
They're incredibly wet. They're soaking and uncomfortable. And he replies, we can provide you with another pair. We would just like to own this artifact.
All right. I'll give them my pants.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And so they give you a fresh pair of pantaloons.
Yay.
They are comfortable, a little loose, but they have like a cinching belt. You go and you retrieve your shirt, and you retrieve the rest of your possessions. What would you like to do now?
I don't know, voice in my head. Do I feel up to making a business deal? Because I don't think I do.
Gemma does not respond.
Alright, fuck it. I'm going back to 9th and Hennepin in 12 years. I can deal with the Duke in the morning.
Fair enough. So Holt gets back to 9th and Hennepin and goes to the room. Clementine, you're brewing a potion. Salandra, you're putting on some spell scars. And Holt comes through the door and he looks like shit.
You okay?
What the fuck happened to you?
Don't ask. It was...
Do we need to do something about this Duke then?
No,
Like,
we'll deal with him in the morning.
Like, you can see... So, I should mention, so Garrigal's death blow on you was just, like, a strike to your sternum that, like, knocked it loose of the rest of your ribs and, like, dislocated your spine a little bit. And, like, Gemma's power was able to spare you that ugly fate. But, there is currently... Like, the front of your body is just a bruise. Your armor hurts.
Nice.
So
shirt hurts.
the Duke didn't do this to you?
No. No, I didn't make it that far.
Who the fuck did? Is it someone we have to kill?
He's already dead.
Bastard.
Very dead.
I knew we shouldn't have let you go.
I split him in half. It's fine.
All right, we'll come with you tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
Why don't you lay down?
That sounds great. I'm gonna just listen. Even mithril hurts right now. I'm taking this off.
Yeah, that's okay.
So now you can actually see.
Oh,
How
Holt.
fucked up
Oh.
it looks.
Well, can we take 20 on a healing roll for?
Yeah.
No, actually. Heal is one of the rolls you're not allowed to take 20 on.
Oh crap!
There's probably
Well,
a
like-
discreet surgeon somewhere who'd be able to find something that could help him.
All right, Salandra. You and me, let's go.
Okay. Let's ask your buddy, the owner.
So you go down to Kali's office. The people at the front desk recognize you, and they let you in. As you enter, there is someone like, as the door opens, the like you can suddenly hear screams coming from inside.
Oh.
And what you witness is there is a man. He is seated in a chair at a table. His hands are bolted to the table, and his feet are bolted to the chair. The chair and table are both bolted to the floor. And, oh crap, what's her name? Kali? Kali. And Kali has bent one of his fingers in an absolutely wrong direction. Just like...
Oh.
and one of her assistants comes forward, like picks up his face, stares into it, and says, "Where's the fucking money, Bob?" And he's like, I don't know. And she looks at him and nods, and then she looks at you, and she's like, "So sorry, I'm in the middle of business.
That's okay. We'll
Charles-
come back later.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Charles, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go help my friends over here." And Charles is like, "I'm gonna do my best." And she's like, now, you're gonna be great at it, honey. And she sidles over to you two, and she's like, "So what can I help you with?" Which is punctuated with a sudden, "Oh God!"
Our friend, your friend, I guess too, is in need of a healer.
Poor Halt. What did he get himself into?
We're not sure. He's not telling us.
He
That's
was
just
kind of
like
cagey
Halt.
about the details.
He's cagey about that sort of thing. He probably lost a fight, or worse yet, won one. So,
I'd beat it out of him, except that, well, he doesn't look like he...
Clementine points to the guy's swelling fingers. Most of him is that color.
oh. Huh. Well, okay. I know a guy. He's staying on the 3rd floor right now. His name is Zoltan. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Unfortunately, I can't tell you straight up. Don't worry about him. He's solid. He's completely trustworthy. Don't worry about him, okay? Also,
You
close
got
your
it.
windows before he comes in.
Okay.
Thank you, Booby. Good luck.
God, I love
Thanks,
her.
ma'am.
And she goes over to Bob, and she's like, Charles, no, you gotta start with the small fingers. Then you work your way up. And Charles is like, "I'm sorry, ma'am." And he's like, don't be. It's a lesson. You learning?" And he's like, yes, of course. And she's like, "Then there's nothing to worry about." And then, like, you hear a pinky snap, and Bob screeches again.
She's such a patient teacher.
Of course she is. Anyway, so you guys go up to the 3rd floor. So, like,
Thought that a fucking garbage heap would be so much better than the rest of the place.
it's so weird. Like, the apartments actually get worse the higher up you go.
So, Clementine, you don't have any healing at this point?
I am not very adept at reaching into chests, reorganizing. I got little hands.
Well, I'll put a Zoltan. It won't cost us an arm and a leg.
So I'm about to say, you go up to room 305. You knock on the door. And, like, the door opens just a spell. You can see a red bloodshot eye on the other side, shrouded in darkness. "Can I help you with something?"
We've got somebody in need of your skill.
Really? Who sent you?
The landlord?
So it's those skills you'll be needing. No problem. Give me a minute. The door closes. And what? You know what? It's a trope, but I love it.
I just look at Clementine. You better not be a fucking beholder. That's all I have to say.
Oh,
What did-
what? Sorry, you cut out.
I said he better not be a fucking beholder. That's all I have to say.
No, the thing that comes out, like, it takes a while, but the thing that comes out is dressed like this. And he is carrying a
Like-
surgeon's bag.
Plague doctor.
And Cap died. The end.
And you can hear his muffled voice through the mask. Just take me to the patient, please.
You got it.
Oh, fuck.
Clementine scurries ahead to make sure.
So,
Did-
Holt, you see that thing come into the room.
I heard Clementine scurries and then it cut out. Was that?
Yeah.
She scurries to close all the windows.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that wasn't just me. Okay.
No, it wasn't just you. I also got some cut out. So,
Yeah, I was cleaning my computer and I think I cleaned over the mic.
Job.
excitedly bouncing around as your microphone gently weeps. So, Holt, you see this thing come in, and you're like, oh no, it's Gemma's Reaper. All he wants is to be dead. Just wanted a blood sacrifice.
The whole time. Oh god, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry for all this shit I did. Actually says that.
So, like, Holt starts having a minor freak out. Holt, make a will save.
Okay. Oh boy.
Hey,
I rolled a critical 1.
I was about to hit him with a slumber hex, but okay.
Too late.
My
Salandra,
will
it's
is
time.
1.
Oh god, Salandra, it's time for something weirder to happen. So Holt stops screaming and like whimpering and like being very scared, and then just starts acting really placid. And then the figure in the robes comes forward and just starts like feeling up his torso, and he's like, "Yup, got some broken bones, all right." Okay. He starts moving things around. He's like, did one of you heal him before he got put back together again?
No.
No.
Okay.
He
Well,
may have healed him.
huh. Well, he did a very poor job of it. If both of you could hold on to his arms, I'd be mighty appreciative.
Would it help if I could put him to sleep?
Sir.
No, that will be unnecessary.
Okay.
The terrible pain he would feel would simply awaken him, and it may interfere with my own form of anesthesia.
Oh, sweet Elijah.
So you each grab one of his arms.
Yes, you're asking a 100-pound elf chick and a like 60 or 70-pound halfling to hold the arms of a warrior. Okay.
Well, actually, it's like
Those arms are probably thicker than our torsos.
it's not a matter of like
that
holding him down as he writhes in terrible pain and agony. That being said, Holt, you are experiencing incredibly terrible pain and agony, but you currently have a simple command: stay still. And you are doing your best to obey that command. What is all that is necessary for you two is that you give him some leverage as he starts popping bones back into place.
Okay.
Basically, I'll sit on the arm.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Yeah,
like
and Clementine will like stroke his head and shush him.
that being said, Zoltan looks at you, Salandra, and says, "Actually, that arm is also broken."
Crap.
And he pops that one back into place. And he's like, "I don't suppose any of you have any healing magic, do you?
Yes. Can I use it?
Implement it now."
Yes. And Clementine slams you with the old.
The amount of hit points that are healed, like, doesn't really matter. Just, like, you need to hit him with some healing magic to, like, solder his bones back together.
I have a couple of potions if needed to.
Zoltan,
That's okay. The moderate wounds should take care of it.
yeah, no, it's all good. And Zoltan replies, "No, those won't be necessary. Save them for the road where you will undoubtedly need them. That being said, I need to collect my payment, so I would request that you two please leave the room."
We can pay you.
I don't need gold.
Holt?
Am I conscious?
You are absolutely conscious. The awful, terrible, horrifying pain has ceased, although you have not been permitted to speak. At which point, like, it takes... So, Clementine, you notice that it takes Holt longer than it should for him to respond. Like, you don't need to roll sense mode to figure that out. There's just an awkward pause. At which point, like, Holt, you receive a mental command, which is just, like, a sort of accidental, incidental... speak freely.
Ow. I'll be fine, Clementine. Just stand outside the door. It'll take a second.
All right. She gives your head another stroke. Joins Salandra in the hall.
The fuck do you think he is?
Mm-hmm. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm thinking a Birdman because...
Clementine, you disappeared.
What?
Clementine.
I disappeared?
For a second.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
You
like
cut out.
Birdman.
Oh, sorry.
It was last...
Oh, I think he's a Birdman because of the mask.
I just hope he's not a vampire.
That'd be silly.
I don't know much about them. Just a little bit in that book where I was reading the other day.
I think you should take that book with a grain of salt. You can't believe everything you read, you know.
Yeah, but everything that was in that book was absolutely accurate for everything that happened to us in the graveyard.
That is true.
Well,
So what do you think Holt actually got into?
do you remember with the direwolves?
Mhm.
Where he did something and his body started... Something he's not telling us. He has some sort of fits. I don't know what they are. Have you?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I know we could ask him, but I feel as though we wouldn't get very
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing I think of. He was looking kind of antsy before he went off, and then this.
Yeah. He has a lot less answers.
Yeah, it's that happens when you can't move your fucking arms.
Yeah.
How about you? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, fine, why?
Okay. Just wondering.
So the door opens up.
More drag?
Zoltan comes out.
Oh, no thank you.
I believe that your friend is now in good health again.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
And he goes back to his third floor apartment.
Clementine will rush in.
That wasn't creepy at all.
Not one
You
bit.
okay, Holt?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah, I'm okay.
what happened?
He just wanted to ask me how I got as messed up as I did.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So did you tell him something,
Oh, man. Got into a fight. That much is obvious. Yeah, let me just...
Well, it could have been
He,
in a collapsing house or hit by an avalanche too.
the houses don't collapse around here. You have to go much lower in the district for that. That would be a problem. Okay. He'll sit up in the bed slowly. It's painful. His eyes aren't quite focusing. Alright. So, you know those potions I carry around, right?
Mhm.
Never drink them. Never get on this stuff. It sucks. It's the worst. Every so often, I get the urge to go out and fight anything, and if I don't do it, then I end up... I could hurt anyone around me, and I had to take care of it before we went on submission in the sewers, because I didn't want to lose control around you guys.
So
Look,
it's
Holt, I understand that you want to watch out for us, but you know that we're here to watch out for you too. You don't have to go to...
You know what I did tonight? I fought a half-orc with a hammer made of concrete and rebar, and I split him in half.
Sweet Elijah.
The thought begins to circle through your brains, and like
I didn't do it.
like Clementine is like, so like across the chest, and then like implausibly Solandra follows it up with, or down the middle, like top to bottom.
Up and down.
I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
But yes, Holt followed it up with,
skull.
"It wasn't me who did it."
Yeah.
oh.
well,
So I might have done something a little worse than even what I set out to do tonight.
well,
Well, I'm glad
Next-
you're okay now.
I might have made a deal with a god.
what the?
Oh.
Fuck!
Oh.
Why?
What god?
Oh, shut up. Salandra.
Nothing good ever comes of it.
I don't care.
At least you didn't make a deal with Gemma.
What's so bad about him? I haven't heard of him before.
The fucking demon lord.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that would be a bad
that?
one to make a deal with.
Yeah, it definitely would. No, it wasn't that one. Definitely not.
Make a bluff roll. Both of you make a
you
sense
didn't
motive roll.
He didn't say his name.
I got a nat 20.
I'm gonna need the total. This is an opposed skill check. A natural 20 is
Okay.
not automatic success.
Hold on, let's see.
Everybody send me your totals on sense motive or bluff in a private message, please.
Okay.
And I will tell you who comes out on top and who comes out on bottom.
Okay.
Oh crap!
What'd you send it to me for?
Sorry. That was what the old crap was for.
Okay, so here's what
Oh,
happens.
it was.
So Solandra, you start thinking about it, and you're like, yeah, no, making a deal with Gemma. Holt might be a little thick, but he's not that thick. He probably chop the guy in half. That might be either Marduk or Dogo, or it could be like one of the other sort of lesser gods, like maybe Kord or Hextor. Maybe Nerul. Like, that's all bad, but like not as bad as Gemma, you know. maybe we can salvage this.
You cut out, my dude.
I didn't cut out. I'm not speaking.
Oh, okay.
I really
I'm
need my
used to saying
headband.
that.
You really need your headband.
Clementine narrows her eyes at you. She folds her arms.
Yeah.
Holt, what did I just tell you?
I really don't even remember 5 minutes ago.
I just told you that you don't have to do any of this shit alone. So remember that.
Okay.
Alright.
And the next time you have an urge that you have to deal with, let us come along. Maybe make sure you're pointing in the right direction and someone's watching your back.
I had a very lovely person watching my back.
Fuck.
It was fine. I'm fine.
Says Holt, his entire torso a bruise.
Yes.
I'm fine!
Oh, you look worse than I did when I went one-on-one with a fucking Chosen.
You do, actually. And I've seen them both. Wow, that's literally Holt.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so called out by my dash.
Alright, and on that note, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut it there for this chapter of our adventure. So,
Mobby.
everybody gets 2,000 experience points for a session well run. Holt, you get an extra 1,000 experience points because holy shit, you're going to need them.
Thank you, darling.
That's fucking fair.
You're welcome.